wonder what they're like. From our viewpoint, Professor, they're either suprahuman or subhuman.
We are going to play the Choose Your Own Adventure House of Danger game, and I am going to run through the game. Normally the way you'd play it is the players would take turns reading the cards, but since I've already played this and Sam's already played this, I'm going to have Paul and Jarrod and Dan run through it, and they are going to make the decisions. I'm going to read the cards, and Sam is going to make sure that we don't screw anything up too badly.
Sam's the DM's assistant.
Pretty much. So I'm going to give you the rule book, so just in case we need to look something up, you're also going to be our rules advisor.
Okay.
All right? So what we're going to do is we are going to play the game. And the way the game works is I'm going to read the card, and they're going to make a choice. Each turn it will be one of their turn to make the choice. They can work together as a team. They can elect to vote on things however the person who is in charge of the turn wants to go. So we'll start. We'll just do it probably, how about alphabetically? We'll go Dan, Jarrod, Paul. And that'll be the person who makes the decisions. Along the way, they can pick up clues that will help them. Sometimes it's an item. Sometimes it's an alternate story path that will change how the cards work. All different kinds of things can happen in the House of Danger. So it should be pretty exciting. It's a very simple set of rules. It's basically like a beefed up version of the Choose Your Own Adventure style game. And occasionally there will be an issue that they will have to face, and that's the danger meter in the center of the game board. They will have to make a decision about what to do, and they'll have to kind of roll dice sometimes to overcome an obstacle. So they will use one of 5 different stats, and they will roll a d6, and they are trying to meet or exceed the number that is on the danger meter. And as the game progresses, the danger meter will go up, so that can make things tougher. They also have ways along the way to find items and to do things that can make the danger track go down. So it's all in good fun. We had a good time playing it, so it seems like it'll translate pretty well. I took the time and made all this stuff. So, hit me up, Z-Man Games. We'll see how this all plays through. So let me start. I have a spooky soundtrack to go with it. So out there in chat, let us know if that sounds okay, mixed out as a final mix. If I need to fiddle with anything, let me know. I think I got it all about sorted pretty right, though. But we'll see. The soundtrack is a little moody and cinematic, so it may be a little distracting. Let me know if it is.
Oh, it's Soundtracula.
Soundtracula. So let us begin. Are you gentlemen ready?
I ain't no gentle, but I am ready.
Okay. And just have a dice roller of some kind where you can roll a d6, or like Jarrod suggested, having a d6 also works.
I have my dice bag that I use when I play webcam magic sitting right here, so I'm good.
Excellent. All right.
I'll just use the roller because I don't feel like using my lead ones because they might be too loud.
They would be loud. So we'll start with Chapter 1, The Grounds. It's...
You gotta show the picture.
No, I don't. Do I? Oh, you're right. Good to see. This is why we have a rules advisor. The game starts not with me reading the cards, but on the back of the board, I'll show everybody in the bottom window here, kind of, hopefully not too washed out. You have the game board, and then on the back, there's this special, very bizarre kind of abstract image. And I'm going to bring up said image on the screen for about a minute for the guys to kind of look at, take notes on, talk back and forth about, and they will make a decision. So I'm going to bring that up now. It's going to take up a good chunk of screen real estate. But there it is, guys. The full image that you are trying to break down. So tell us
that looks like a 90s fucking... it looks like a 90s comic book.
When you say take notes, is actual writing down notes prohibited or frowned upon at all?
I'd say frowned upon. Use your brain.
Okay. Because I was like, take notes.
Mental notes. The mental notes are stacking.
Put my pen away.
I'm as energized as this can will make me.
Oh, that frog is adorable, though.
Here's the lunch lady at a futuristic school who's trying to kill the swim team with a sword.
And I think the sword might be made of mercury.
Because it's melting in the swoosh there?
Yeah.
I don't know what to think.
Just remember specific little spots and, like, images from this picture, and we'll bring it up each chapter for a few seconds. So in case you're jumping in late to the stream, everybody out there, you'll be able to see it as well. So I'm
some ice and garbage.
I'm going to give you guys 10 more seconds or so to drink this image in, and then I will take it away. And it goes away. All right. But in place of that, I'll give you 2 items to start because the game does, not just because I'm generous. You get a bottle of water and a pocket knife. The pocket knife will give you a bonus +1 to whatever you roll on the dice for fighting challenges. And the bottle of water can be discarded, which means it goes away permanently. And it will lower the danger meter at any time by 3. So it could knock it down currently by 2 if you wanted to, or you can save it till it starts to escalate and then knock it back down to get full value. And I know how much you all are fans of value. The lunchroom food is poison. Mediocre Matt calling poison lunchroom food. All right. So I will now read the card, which is the appropriate thing to do.
Correct.
Good. So, The Grounds, Chapter 1. It's a Tuesday morning in late June, and you wake up in a cold sweat. The nightmares came again last night. Even though you are an aspiring detective and psychic investigator, you haven't been able to make sense of the haunting dreams you've had these past few weeks. In your dreams, you keep seeing the same spooky house. You're still shivering under the covers when you hear the phone ring downstairs in your basement, where you have your combination office and research laboratory. You dash down to the lab to answer it. I need, a weak voice says when you pick up the receiver. I need your help. You hear a loud click and the phone goes dead. But you were prepared.
That's creepy.
While the caller was talking, you activated your high-speed telephone tracking device. Very modern sounding device. It displays the caller's number, which is 555-7259. Imagine if we had a device like that in our pocket all the time. You call back the number right away, but there's no answer. After consulting the tall stack of reverse phone books behind your desk, because again, it's very contemporary, you are disappointed to learn the number is unlisted. You sense that the phone call is somehow related to your nightmares. Later, while at the Hedgebrook police station to return a nightscope you borrowed for a recent stakeout.
Nightscope?
Yes, a nightscope. You describe the mysterious phone call.
Are they heavy? Sorry.
You're good. And your recurring dreams to your friend, Sergeant Morrison. The call does sound strange, he says. We'll look into it. And about that house in your dreams, a voice says from the hallway. I wonder if you're dreaming about the Marsden house out on Hedgebrook Road. Detective Murphy sticks his mustache face into the room. Modern house, ornate gate. That sounds like the Marsden place, all right, says Sergeant Morrison. Strange things are reported to happen out there. Detective Murphy takes a puff on his pipe. Because, again, very contemporary. That place is haunted, he says. I know it sounds unprofessional, but I've had a file on the Marsden house for years and I'm sure of it. He waves a folder in front of your eyes, and a phone number written on the front jumps out at you. It matches the one from the mysterious phone call. So the call is related to your nightmares, and your psychic senses were right. So we will now draw a clue, and that will be clue 26 from the stack of clues. And that is going to uncover our goal for this round. So our chapter 1 goal is to get... Oh, washed out. There we go. Get inside the Marsden house. Pretty simple goal. Get inside the Marsden house. Back at home, you grab a bottle of water and your trusty pocket knife, preparing for a new investigation. Half an hour later, you stand before the Marsden residence, which appears exactly as it did in your nightmares. The house's futuristic look is a strange contrast to the antique appearance of the stone wall and the wrought iron gate, which is locked shut and wrapped in steel chains. Even though the air is balmy, a chill travels down your spine. The gathering clouds on the horizon hint at a brewing summer thunderstorm. So, Dan, you're the first one with a choice. You have two. If you want to search the wall for a way in, we'll do one thing. If you wish to climb the gate, we can do a different thing.
Search for a way in.
So you search the wall?
Please.
Will do. All right. Moving along the mossy stone wall that surrounds the property, you come across a jagged opening created by fallen rocks. It's just big enough for you to squeeze through. Once on the other side of the wall, you find yourself standing in a cobblestone plaza, surrounded by marble and bronze figures. Most of the sculptures depict men gazing into the distance, as if pondering the deeper meaning of it all. But at the edge of the courtyard is a monumental statue of a man atop a muscular steed. To your right, a stony pathway leads away from the statuary into a picturesque garden, where the topiary bushes have been trimmed into whimsical shapes. So, Jarrod, if you want to inspect the statue of the man on the horse, we can do one thing. If you want to walk towards the topiary bushes, we can do a different thing.
I'd like to go to the topiary bushes.
Topiary bushes. Okay. You emerge into a clearing. Manicured bushes in the shape of fish, swans, and rabbits perch atop a well-kept lawn. One larger shrub has been sculpted to look like an outstretched hand with its palm upturned. You see a black handle of some kind sticking up out of one of the fingertips. A brick path winds through the shrubs and splits into two paths in the distance. One of these leads towards a rickety wooden gate flanked by a pair of stone angel statues. The other path leads into an open field across which you can see the front door of Marsden Manor. So, if you, this is a free action, so would you like to pull the handle sticking out of the fingertip of the giant hand? You're allowed to do this if you wish. Or
Is
you
this
may
Paul
skip
making
it.
this choice?
Yeah, this is a Paul card.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's going to do it. He's going to do it.
That sounds like something Paul would do.
This is number 5. Mambo number 5.
But
So you get an item. We'll make this a little bit bigger. No, we will not. I don't know what item I've made bigger, but it wasn't that one.
you just made the box bigger without actually selecting the thing.
Yeah, this is tricky.
To rock a rhyme?
It really is. There we go. You pull a pair of garden shears from the shrub. They could help you pry something open. So this item will give you +2 on any kind of strength-based feat that you come up against.
Ooh.
As you go.
Great strength of feet.
So we'll move this over here.
No soundtrack.
There is no soundtrack. It may just be very quiet. I'll turn it up slightly. Let me know if you hear it. We'll bump up the volume. Yeah, it's very ambient. I can see it bumping like it's some kind of it's a little creepy. It's a creepy little one. So we'll keep this over here. We'll keep this over here too. All right. So, let me move this.
Yeah, I can hear it on there now.
Yeah, it might be pretty moody, the soundtrack. Okay. Now, Paul, would you like to walk through the wooden gate or head across the field towards the manor's front door?
The gate, you're not going to sneak in through the front.
Okay. You can hear it now. Good. So you're going to walk through the wooden gate? Okay. All right, back to Dan now. Passing between a pair of stone angels, you enter an old family cemetery. There's a marble mausoleum in the center of the cemetery. A short set of stairs leads into its shadowy interior. Next to where you stand, a freshly dug grave yawns in the pale sunlight. It's unsettling to think of climbing into it, but you see something shiny embedded in the dirt walls. If you'd like to enter the mausoleum, Dan, we can go one direction. If you want to climb into an open grave, we can do something else.
I certainly want to see what's at the bottom of this, or what's shiny.
So you want to climb into the open grave.
I mean, I don't want to climb into the open grave, but I want to see what's shiny.
Okay.
I can see this working out very well.
All right.
Yeah.
Without warning, the earthen walls begin to collapse around you, and before
Shock.
you can react, you are up to your waist in dirt. You writhe and twist, trying to escape, but it only causes more soil to cascade down. Soon it's up to your shoulders, then your neck, then your cheeks. You struggle to spit soil out your mouth. Struggle to spit soil out as it fills your mouth. But within moments, you're fully buried. You can only see the dark earth in front of your eyes. Your hands are closed around a metal disc, perhaps some kind of coin. You'll never know, though, as the soil fills your lungs, and the world wavers and goes gray before finally turning black. The end. Move back one space on the psychic scale and return to the previous card.
Wow. Okay. That was quick.
We can't move back anymore.
So you died.
Yeah.
So
We died.
if you die in the game, what'll happen?
Die in real life?
No. That'd be pretty messed up, wouldn't it? On stream, you died right now. You die in real life. What would happen is we move back a number of spaces on the psychic scale, and I do believe that's everything that death entails. Is that you go to Barovia? Okay, we are in Barovia. Things are only going to get way worse. So we are going to enter the mausoleum now. Alright, so, Jarrod, the mausoleum interior feels musty and cool. Something's dripping from the ceiling and landing in the corner with a plink, which is odd, given that it hasn't started raining yet. You also notice the mausoleum is bigger on the inside than the outside suggested. The stone sarcophagus lies before you in the center of the chamber with the word Marsden carved into it. It appears the others have been in the mausoleum recently. There's a freshly dug pit to the side of the sarcophagus, and an elaborate tunnel that's been dug into the ground beside the nearby wall. You can see the tunnel is lined with cement. So, if you'd like to, Jarrod, you can roll a d6 and attempt to search around the sarcophagus.
Man, I should have gone in the mausoleum.
I would very much like to do this. Well, I think your decision has already been made, so this was going to be mine anyway. Your decision got reversed, but it was still your decision.
So what was your result?
I got a 5.
Okay. So we get to draw clue 23. Clue 23 is an item. So 23 is a large wooden dowel.
I got a stick.
So you find a large wooden dowel, and your psychic senses tell you this is an important item.
Well, considering I feel like if I'd gone the other way, I would have died in dirt, I better use this.
Move forward one space on the psychic scale.
Ooh.
Move that up to 2. And then we're going to finish story card 5. As I resize this, move it over here, and bump it up to here. And we'll start to kind of shrink the items as we go. So if you need me to enlarge one, just let me know. And now you have another challenge if you'd like to take it, Jarrod.
Just do those stack? Just asking. The double, like, would I get +4?
Yes. Well, no, you can select just one challenge booster.
Okay. So it's the same. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, you have essentially the same item twice, but the scale did, or the dowel did move you up one on the psychic scale.
Yes.
You have another optional challenge, which is a strength-based challenge. You may remove the stone lid of the sarcophagus if you'd like to.
God.
Obviously, if you lose any of these challenges, there is a penalty.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, I do have +3.
Like how I died.
I do have +2 to this roll, based on +2 to strength check. So in the thing I just found.
Oh yes. So one thing to point out: even if you're using a challenge booster, if you roll a 1, it's an auto fail.
And you lose the
Okay.
And you lose the
item.
item. So you kind of like critically break it, essentially.
I think I still want to use the shears on this.
Yeah, seems reasonable to me. So go ahead and roll, and make it not a 1, please.
How about a 3 plus the 2, so it's a 5 total.
That works. So now you are going to get clue 16. Okay. So some of the things are items, as we've seen so far. Others are additional things. So this one is going to present us with a bonus story choice. It's not washed out here. Bonus story choice. Okay, it takes some muscle, but you manage to remove the lid and are surprised to find that not only is there no body, but an opening to a secret passageway offers yet another way out of the mausoleum. So, because you did this, what's
Jarrod
cool
picked
about
the
the
good
game
one.
is it's got upside down text. So I'll add this essentially to the story card as another choice on the bottom of the card.
That is completely washed out.
Yeah, it gets there eventually. Ish. So, 3 options. If you want to climb into the pit, we can do that. If you want to travel through the tunnel, we can do that. Or you can take this new secret passageway.
It's still on me.
Yes, it is.
Well, I did all the work of opening this, so it seems like I should just go into the secret tunnel.
Okay.
But the shears you now?
No, you get to keep them as long as they don't break.
Some strong-ass shears.
Mm-hmm. Sam is double checking. You just keep using the item over and over, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you roll a 1. Yeah.
Okay.
Important safety tip.
24. Okay, here we go. You travel through the tunnel for what feels like forever. The light disappears, and the tunnel eventually ends. You feel frightened and trapped. You want to run back and try the other routes out of the mausoleum. But before you go, you feel around in the dark. There's nothing in front of you or to your sides, but you discover a mossy hatch in the tunnel ceiling. You turn the handle, and the hatch opens into a grassy patch at the entrance of the hedge maze. So it's going to lead us to a full-size card. That was one of our clues. The hedge maze is massive. Its thick hedge walls are twice as tall as you, but don't seem stable enough to climb, so you'll have to solve the labyrinth the old-fashioned way. You take a deep breath to steady your nerves and head through the maze's entrance. So, this is a Paul choice. Paul, would you like to go left, or would you like to go right?
Left.
Left. Okay. So we're not on a new card yet, so you may have more choices, Paul, because we're using the clues. You turn and follow the path deeper into the maze. You feel like you're going in the right direction. To go left this time, we can do that, or we can go right this time. Left, right?
Whose choice?
Yours.
Still you.
Still you.
Oh, is that mine?
Uh-huh. Yep, I'm reading off this little... So it's like, still you.
Same card.
You may make a few decisions off, because I'm running off these little cards for the minute. So you left or right?
Right.
Right. Okay. You feel like you might be getting close to the end of the maze. If you'd like to go left, we can do that. If you'd like to go right, we could do that as well.
Go right.
To the right. This is kind of discouraging. You'd think you'd be better at this by now. So we're going to raise the danger meter by 2 and draw a different one.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's not rude.
Yeah, a little aggressive. And now we're going to take the other option from that previous card. Finally, you see it, the end of the maze. And now we're on to a new card, so this will be back to Dan.
Okay.
Killer of Us.
Look, man.
You finally come to the end of the hedge maze. It exits toward a pool house. The short stone pedestal stands in front of you with a metal lockbox on top. Perhaps someone wants to reward you for having navigated that accursed maze through the whole though the whole thing seems like it's a bit suspicious. Looking toward the pool house, you see the door is barely hanging from its hinges. There's also a gate that leads to you assume directly to the pool. So as a free action, you can see if the lockbox is open if you'd like. You do not have to.
Hey, no bitch.
Okay, lockbox will be opened to find item
Black Widow.
number 3.
There's a gun inside, and it shoots you.
Yeah.
You find a truck key. So your psychic senses tell you that this is an important item. We get to move up 2 spaces on the psychic scale for having the truck key.
All right.
Move up to 4 on the psychic scale. Take the truck key. And we'll move that over to our growing collection of items.
Cool. A truck key.
You there.
Out of the way?
Go. Yeah, out of the way. We'll put this down here. And we'll continue. Now, Dan, would you like to explore the pool house or walk through the gate to check out the pool?
Explore the pool house.
Pool house. Pool house rock.
Come on now.
Jarrod?
That joke was bad.
You can tell that the pool house was once quite luxurious. It contains half a dozen private rooms with showers, as well as an ornate mahogany bar in the common area. It must have been fun to hang out at this place in its glory days. Those thoughts fade as sounds of disturbance erupt from the top of the gazebo in the distance. And now you can hear a lone violin playing a soothing melody.
Oh, God damn it.
That's
So
not that soothing.
If you'd like to face the gazebo alone, we can do that. If you'd like to follow the sound of the violin, we can also do that.
Violin, no gazebo. Get fucked.
Unfortunately, it's my choice, I believe.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
It is.
You moved on.
Yep, new card.
All right.
So I feel like I want to make the opposite decision.
You'd
Because
like to-
music.
You'd like to face the gazebo alone?
Well, I'd rather not face the music alone.
Okay, so gazebo?
Yeah, gazebo.
All right, Paul, on to you. You sprint to the gazebo, practically pushed along by the winds that are picking up. A light sprinkling of rain spatters the ground as you run. You make it to the shelter of the structure, and the mayhem occurring above you on the roof increases in intensity. Who's up there and what are they doing, you wonder? You notice a driveway about 20 feet away. So we are not level 2 on the psychic scale yet. We're still in level 1. So we don't get to take we don't get to take a clue. So Paul, would you like to climb up to the top of the gazebo, or would you like to run to the driveway?
I'm gonna climb up the gazebo.
Okay. Climbing up to the top of the gazebo. You stand on the gazebo's railing, steadying yourself by gripping an ornate post holding up the roof. The rumbling above sounds and feels frightening. What are you getting yourself into? Reluctant to barge into the middle of the situation, you raise yourself just enough for a peek and discover there's no one on the gazebo roof. The commotion's actually a large satellite dish broken into 3 pieces. The big jagged fragments are still connected to the base by wires, and the violent winds are spinning them in a circle with great force. Flailing wildly like an angry octopus, the satellite dish almost hits you in the face. You might be able to grab the piece zooming by. So now there is a required challenge. So this is a climbing challenge. So you are going to attempt to grab a piece of the satellite dish, Paul. So go ahead and roll a d6, and you're looking for 4 or higher, unless you want to discard your bottle of water, which you can do at any time.
I'll just roll.
Okay. Let me know what you get.
That's a 2.
Okay, so we are going to pull up a clue here. So, your fingertips will graze a piece of the satellite dish, but you can't quite grab it. You reach too far, lose your balance, and tumble from the gazebo down a short hill. Your confusion from the fall subsides, and you hear the sound of a beautiful violin nearby. You stumble off in the direction of the music. So we're going to raise the danger meter by 2.
I'm sure that's fine.
I keep making things more dangerous, but at least I haven't died.
That's right. Go to story card 17, which we'll do. All right. You move further and further towards the hypnotic sound of the distant violin, which is oddly calming and uplifting, even as the winds increase around you. You notice there is a driveway up in the distance, but before you get there, you arrive at at a horse stable with an open gate. Inside, sitting on a stool, is the source of the violin music. A chimpanzee playing his heart out, a soulful expression on his face. The chimp is fully committed to the music. You have never heard such an emotional performance. It's beautiful. So, if you, this is Dan now, exploring a new story card. If you want to leave the stable and run to the driveway, we can do that. Or, if you want to tiptoe through the gate and experience the full power of this chimpanzee performance, we can also do that.
Dan has stepped away.
Daniel has stepped away. So we'll go to Jarrod then, easy enough. Jarrod, would you like to monkey song or would you like to driveway?
Oh, thank God I get to make this decision because I do not want a monkey song.
Okay, you want a driveway?
I want a driveway.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Paul, were you counting on him to pick the monkey song?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's what you get for having a name that doesn't start between D and J.
So this is a goal achieved. Here.
What? Yeah.
You appear in a driveway, which leads to the mansion's entrance. On the door is a plaque that reads Marsden and a large crystal door knocker, which seems newer than everything else on the front of the building. You knock loudly many times, but there's no answer. The storm's really picking up now. You try the doorknob and are surprised to find that the door is unlocked. You've been lucky enough so far, despite your dying, but you wonder if you've missed something. Before you enter the house, you look back. You can see a few clear paths. One leads towards the statuary, another towards the small cemetery. 2 more paths stretch out towards a watery ditch with a gate and the house's luxurious pool. You could go back and explore if you want. So this is Paul's choice. So here's the deal. You can head towards the statuary. You can head towards the cemetery, which you've already done, so you don't want to do that. You can go to the ditch, or you can go to the pool, which you've also done. So you tell me what you'd like to do.
We haven't gone into the pool.
Or we can go inside.
Or you can just proceed and we can go inside the building, which is chapter 2.
Yeah, I'll just go inside.
Sounds good. So you have completed chapter 1.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Work together.
Yes, please. And we'll move all the clues over. And then what I will do while I do that is I'll bring up the background image again for you guys to look at for a few seconds here. There you go. And the things you are not keeping are all of these items here, as well as this.
Is that red thing on the left a snake, Paul? I'll talk about things on the card, I think. Looks like a snake head.
On the left?
Yeah, in the trash, like right behind the barrel, it looks like a snake head poking out.
I don't believe so. Looks like a gas can, maybe.
Yeah, possible.
Because it's like distorted.
Yeah.
Oops, that was the background. That's one. Before we jumped on for the stream tonight, I predicted I was going to do that 12 times. So, for those of you playing the home game...
So far, it's only once per chapter.
One per chapter would be great. I feel like I'm going to screw this up immensely still, don't worry. Okay. we are on to Chapter 2, The Mansion. And I will give this decision to Jarrod, since Dan is not back yet. And if you're unfamiliar, both Dan and Paul have had recent newborns, so they may have to parent in the midst of doing this. So, life happens. Deal with it, people. They got kids. Don't be ridiculous. Here we go. You made it. You're inside the Marsden house, the cursed edifice that has haunted your nightmares for weeks. Your trek through the mansion's grounds has left you with far more questions than answers, to the point where you wonder if the smart move would just be to turn around right now and forget you ever came to this infernal place. But you're no quitter. You're an aspiring detective and psychic investigator. You won't give up this case until you find out why a spooky, futuristic mansion you'd never seen before has somehow found its way into your dreams. And why you got a call from that house in the morning. You're standing in a grand foyer. Its modern decor is elegant in its minimalism. Suddenly, a man in a delivery uniform bursts through a set of tall double doors screaming, "Help! Help! They're after me!" the man cries. He rushes towards you, but suddenly drops to the ground as if he had been hit by an invisible hammer. You dash to his side and hear his breath coming in short gasps that almost sound like sobs. He gives a terrible shriek and lies still. The man has been frightened to death, you think. Just then he inhales sharply and jumps to his feet, and he bolts past you out of the house. You breathe a sigh of relief, so not quite to death. Something falls from his clothing as he makes an exit and hits the floor, tinkling. You kneel down to inspect the object and discover it's a small dart, the kind that might have come from a blowgun. Whatever this man was afraid of, his fear seems to have been justified. How dangerous is this house? As your thoughts swirl, a loud buzzing noise erupts from somewhere beneath your feet, shaking the floor. The noise is so loud that it drowns out the gathering storm outside. Just as quickly as it came, the noise stops. It sure sounds like something weird's going to happen beneath the manor. You're willing to bet whatever is happening in this place, the answer awaits you down there. So now the card is prompting me to draw clue 57, which, if you were around for the beginning part, will likely be our goal for Chapter 2. Alright. Find access to the basement. You don't see any way to a lower level from the foyer. You know, I should start handing you the cards to show the camera.
I can.
I should do that. You should have suggested that.
Sorry, I can't be great at everything.
You know, rather a sweeping stairway leads upstairs, while the double doors that the frightened man ran through head off to your right, and a smaller door, slightly ajar, leads in the opposite direction. So, Jarrod, we can take the stairs to the second floor, we can go through the double doors, or we can go to the smaller door. Your choice.
Well, upstairs seems like it's the opposite of our goal. And I'm not... This part of my brain, being me, doesn't feel like extra exploring is really a priority. I'll try the smaller door.
Okay, the small door. That's okay. Your brain is his brain right now, while it's your turn.
That's what I'm saying, this part of my brain.
Just
me.
My brain.
Yeah, pretty much. Alright, Paul, you enter a parlor, which is decorated in more of an old-fashioned way than what you've seen from the house so far. Rich cherry wood paneling covers the walls, and dozens of exotic animal heads are mounted there. Some Marsden ancestor was quite fond of hunting, or, at the very least, taxidermy.
A lovely room of death.
That's right. Each of these trophies features the same expression. Fangs bared and a savage eyes that make the animal look ready to leap from the wall and pounce on you. The effect is quite unsettling, but you also sense that they might be hiding something. There are two ways out of here. An open passage that leads to an adjacent library that's brimming with books, and a tightly spiraled iron staircase going up. So now there's an optional challenge if you'd like to take it, Paul. It is searching the animal heads if you're feeling brave. And I will remind you, you have a bottle of water. It is a search challenge, which is called a visual perception challenge. You do have the bottle of water if you want to lower your...
I will do it.
Would you like to drink the bottle?
And what's that do?
It will lower the danger meter by 3.
And that's so I have to get a 5 or 6 to pass.
Right now, you have to get a 5 or a 6 to pass. If you drink the water, you go down 1, 2, 3. It'll have to be a 4, 5, or 6. Your choice.
I'll just do it.
Just do it without it. And it's not. And just so you know, it's not a one-time effect. You lower it, it's lowered.
That's a 1.
Okay. But it wouldn't have mattered. So we will take a clue. Seeing something reflective inside the open mouth of a cheetah head mounted on the wall, you reach your hand inside and clumsily bump into its canine teeth, causing its jaws to clamp down on your hand. Overcome by searing pain, you struggle to pull it out and succeed at escaping with all of your fingers, but just barely. Raise the danger meter by 4.
That puts us at -2 psychic and back to 3.
Yes, and it causes me to move that.
2.
We move back down to here, and we move this back to...
Everything I do is so dangerous.
You are a dangerous man. And we will go to finish the story card. Paul, this is still you. If you'd like to go to the library, we can do that, or you can climb the spiral staircase.
A secret part of your brain really wants to go to that library.
Paul, what say you? Library, stairs. Or has he disappeared?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I was listening to something else. What was that?
Would you like to go to the library or the stairs?
I forgot it was my choice. I thought that was my choice, but I just messed up.
You make multiple choices.
Where's the stairs go?
They go up.
They go up, yeah.
Oh, in the library.
Okay.
I'm so happy that happened.
Ghostbusters quotes. Where do these stairs go? They go up. Most of the books lining the wall. So, Jarrod, this is you.
Yeah.
Wait, Dan, are you back?
Very sorry about that. We had an explosive spit up incident, so I'm also wearing some new clothes now.
I see. Well, you really got to keep that spit in your mouth, buddy.
All parties are still okay though, so that's what matters.
That is all that matters. We got clothes aplenty.
Yep, I can always wear more clothes. Looks like we haven't gotten any new articles after the truck key.
No, we have advanced to chapter 2.
Cool.
Yes. You're inside the house, and you're currently in the library, and so it's going to be your choice on this card.
What is our chapter 2 objective?
Get to the basement.
Okay.
Yes. Find access to the basement. You can hold the card up again if you want. You're free to hold up the card as much as you want.
And sorry, Paul, what was the thing you just said?
Our danger meter went to the top.
Keep it up the whole time.
Oh,
So you block your face.
Say as much as I want.
find access to the basement.
Most of the books lining the walls of this room appear to be first editions of well-known classics. To help reach the tallest shelves, there's a wheeled ladder that can slide across the room. A silver door is on one wall. One book, An Introduction to Psychic Dreams, Visions, and Limericks, catches your eye, and you wheel the ladder over, climb up, and grab it. As soon as you pull the book from the shelf, a catch releases, and a hidden door opens from the other side of the room. And we are not level 2 on the psychic scale. So, Dan, would you like to go through the silver door, or would you like to go through the hidden door?
You know I'm going through the hidden door.
Hidden door.
Because psychic dreams are what brought me here.
That's right. 44.
Me, us. But
All right, next is Jarrod. Entering a child's playroom, you find a giant overstuffed toy box resting against one wall, and in the middle of the room stands a dollhouse, which appears to be a perfect replica of the Marsden house. As you approach the dollhouse, you notice the walls of the playroom are covered with shelves full of porcelain dolls, their eyes all peering down at you. It's difficult to break their gaze. Their eyes seem to draw you into the blackness of their dead stares. Not looking away, you feel yourself shrinking smaller and smaller. Soon the dolls seem to loom over you, even more frightening than before, although they never move from their perches. Eventually you're the size of a doll yourself, and you stand on the playroom floor beside the replica of the Marsden house. From where you stand, you can see the front doors of the dollhouse.
What the hell?
So you don't have a choice on this card.
Cool choice.
Yeah. I don't know if that's
Cool
a good or a
technology.
bad thing here. We'll find out. The dollhouse, so Paul, this is you. The dollhouse entryway has...
Paul House.
Paul House. The Paul House entryway has doorways leading into the dining room, a parlor, and a bedroom. Before you can think about where you should go next, something distracts you. There's a force at work here, a presence you can't ignore. Something, or someone, seems to be calling you, drawing you onward. You can tell this dollhouse is a hub of psychic energy, a nexus of weird power. You'll need to stay sharp. Would you like to go to the dollhouse dining room, the dollhouse parlor, or the Paul House bedroom?
I'll go to the parlor since we've already been there to see if there's differences.
The parlor. So 57.
That's where the animal heads were, right?
Yes. A piano takes up one corner of the dollhouse parlor. A doll sits on a piano bench wearing a crown and a rich red gown, hands poised above the keys. This is the doll queen, and even though her back is turned to you, you feel as though she's daring you to face her in some kind of bizarre piano contest. Of the mind, whatever that means.
What is a piano contest of the mind, pray tell?
Well, I'm gonna find out.
Just think the song in my head.
Yeah, really.
You can play piano real good in my head.
Yeah. Perhaps accepting the queen's unusual challenge and defeating her will increase your psychic skills. You notice a painting above the piano. It depicts a solarium and is so spellbindingly realistic you can't help but reach out your hand to touch it. You're amazed when your hand disappears into the painting and you can touch the solarium on the other side. This painting is a magical portal, and it might be your only way out of the dollhouse. So, there's an optional challenge here. It's a perception challenge to battle the doll queen in a psychic piano duel. So this is Dan. Would you like to engage in this optional challenge?
No.
Okay.
Just because I don't agree with it.
All right.
That's a good reason.
Would you like to go to the dollhouse dining room, the dollhouse bedroom? We do not have clue 50. We do not have clue 50. So you have dining room or bedroom as a choice.
The dollhouse dining room.
Dollhouse dining room.
I don't want to see what dolls eat, dude. What are you doing?
I do want to see what dolls eat.
Jarrod, you're going to find out what dolls eat right now.
Oh, boy.
Seated at the head of the dollhouse dining room table is a doll wearing a crown. It's the doll king, with oddly compelling glass eyes.
How do we know they're the doll king and queen?
I mean...
Maybe they're just like the doll, Archduke.
Yeah, the Duke and Duchess.
All dolls dress like this. This is just Philip.
All dolls
and
go to heaven.
Diana.
No.
As they sparkle with a kind of dark power. As you look into those eyes, you sense a strange tingle in your mind. The doll is
mess around with
reaching
dark
out to you
forces.
mentally. Yeah. You don't know why, but you feel as though he wants to fight you on the plane of pure thought. You sense
What the fuck is it with the king and queen? They're very aggro.
You sense this could help you strengthen your psychic abilities. Around
Fight me in my dreams.
Like the IRL.
Yeah, really. Around the dining room table, 2 doors lead to other rooms inside the dollhouse. Now there's an optional challenge here, Jarrod. Would you like to try to overpower the doll king with your mind? It is a perception-based challenge.
Oh, boy. Yes.
Okay, so...
I want to know how you arrived at that decision, because it sounded like you were really working on it, and then you just decided.
Let me know what you roll.
A 5.
Okay, so we get a clue.
I really want to try to get to level 2 of psychicness. Because we keep hearing, oh, you're not there yet.
Yeah.
You don't get this option. And I want to know what options I have.
What do we get at level 2?
You get more clues. I don't know specifically what the clues will be, but you will get more clues if you can get your psychic skills up.
Level 2.
You project your thoughts at the psychic queen, or king, sorry, like light through a magnifying glass. You focus on the doll's mind, narrowing your thoughts into a tight beam. Finally, when you can hardly take any more, the doll blinks. You've won.
So it's a staring contest.
Keep this card. Move forward 2 spaces on the psychic scale. So that will put us up to 4.
Get us back to where we were before Paul bit us.
We had a fight. He bit me. So, Jarrod, would you like to go to the parlor again, or would you like to go to the bedroom?
Well, we're still in the parlor? Or did we...
You are in the dining room where dolls eat.
Ah, yes, that's right.
Right, you didn't want to know what doll food was, and I did.
Right, yeah.
Correct.
So what was not parlor option?
The bedroom.
Oh boy, yeah, I'll go to the bedroom.
Mediocre Matt calling for the bedroom. And Hyper Hippo out there, how you doing?
All sex!
Oh boy. If you want to just tap me when a chat comes in too, you can.
Okay.
Do you see all the jobs I'm giving you?
Start hitting
Okay.
chat.
That makes for good TV. The dollhouse bedroom is filled with miniature furnishings. This is Paul's card, by the way, which are now full size to you. A cozy chair, a dresser, a lamp, and a bed. Lying in the bed, its head on a pillow, is a stuffed mouse. It's so lifelike you catch yourself thinking you should step quietly so you don't wake it up. Your psychic senses start to pulse. You get the feeling something very important is hidden in this room. We unfortunately are not high enough on the psychic scale to take advantage of this.
Meh.
Again, denied.
So, we can go to the dining room or to the parlor.
Dining room.
I feel like we're going in circles.
Feels that way, doesn't it?
It is a text-based game, so that is very possible.
Dining room. Right. Oh, that's interesting. No, that's not interesting. You said dining room, right?
Yes.
Okay. And we're back to the King Challenge, which we've already done. So, this is Dan. We've been to the bed. So let's... I guess I don't want to force you, but I think you should probably go to the parlor to fight the queen, maybe?
Yeah, I was gonna
I guess it's the last thing left to do without upping our psychic skill.
And I think we have to up our psychic skill enough to go to the bedroom to find that other clue.
Yeah,
So I don't even know whose decision it is, but
mine. But I think it's the only decision to make.
Yeah, I concur. Yeah.
it's like, yes, you
Bit
got
railroady, but it is a board game, not an RPG.
Right.
and it's also a book.
Okay. So, psychic. This is who are we on now? Back to Jarrod.
Yes.
Yeah, because it was my decision to come this way, so...
All right. So, Jarrod, would you like to psychic battle the queen? If so, it is a perception challenge like the king.
Yeah.
Okay.
4.
So it'll work.
Hi, yeah.
The queen's hands don't move, but you hear her incredible piano playing swirl through the parlor as fast as the wind. Now it's your turn. Reaching out to the piano with your brain, you weave the notes into an intricate, manic waltz, even faster and more beautiful than the queen's. Your music dances throughout the room. The queen's crown falls to the floor. You've bested her. You win. Keep this card, move forward 2 spaces on the psychic scale.
All right.
Puts us up to
Level 2.
level 2 finally. And then you may go to the dining room or to the bedroom.
I believe I'll go to the bedroom.
Okay. Free action, we will draw. Yes, clue
And-
50.
Single-mindedly get us up to level 2, yes.
That's fine. Clue 50. So that is an item. I will pull that up as well. You don't have to. I will have it pop up.
Ooh.
It is a Marsden family ring, and I'll expand that so we can see. You sneeze, awaking the mouse, which scurries away. In the bed, you see that it was sleeping on top of the Marsden family ring. In your tiny state, it's as big as a truck tire. You must roll to move it. Your psychic senses tell you this is an important item. Keep this item, move forward 1 space on the psychic scale, and then we finish the card. This is item 50. Shrink that down here. Move that over yonder. Start a new pile here. And we finish this up. So you'll want to go to the dining room, not to again steal your choices, but there's more choices now that you have item 50. So this goes to Paul. Back to the dining room. You've bested the queen, so you can enter the magical portal, or we can enter the okay. So we can enter the magical portal a specific way because we did it that way. It's either enter it or don't enter it. So not much of a choice, sorry, but it does get us probably out of here. Clue 47. You'll have to use all your might to throw the ring through the portal before jumping through to the other side. Where you sense a portal's magic will simply or surely return you to normal size. So there's a required challenge. This is Paul here. Roll the dice, please, Paul. It's strength, so you can use your wooden dowel or your shears if you'd like to increase by 2. So basically, it turns into a
dowel.
Use the dowel. Don't roll a 1.
Hoop and pull this ring through.
Yep.
It's 3 plus 2, 5.
Okay, more than a 1. So you succeed. Draw clue 55. If I'm reading that correctly. Win. Lower the danger meter by 2. So you finally lowered the meter you keep raising.
Yeah.
And draw clue 55. 55. You take a deep breath and jump through the portal. A pins and needles sensation spreads over your body as you travel through the dimensional pathway. When you reach the other side, you're standing in the solarium you saw in the picture. You've returned to normal size. Alright, so we're on
now.
New story card, which is Dan now, I believe. Once you've entered the solarium, you notice how the glass panes are in angular shapes that create a spider web pattern across the ceiling. Mediocre Matt says, this is fantastic choice for a board game to bring to Twitch. Good. Yeah, Betrayal at House on the Hill, that'd be fun. It'd be fun to do in person. That'd be tough to do in person, actually. Just thinking about the camera. Worth a try, though.
We need 17 more cameras.
Yes, it is. So, the glass panes are angular shapes that create a spider web pattern across the ceiling. There are clay pots with exotic plants on every flat surface. Welcome, you hear a female voice say. We are so glad you found your way here. An elderly woman in a long black dress and white apron glides into view from behind the wall. She appears to be the housekeeper. She raises one finger and curls it towards her, beckoning you. We've been expecting you. Come this way, she says. Something in her voice makes you freeze. This might be trouble. You notice something shiny tucked behind a tropical shrub, but you'll probably have to deal with the housekeeper before you can investigate it. You glimpse an art gallery behind the solarium. So this is Dan, right?
Yes.
So, Dan, you have an optional challenge. It's a perception challenge to attempt to excuse yourself.
Yes, I will attempt to excuse myself.
And since you are level 2 on the psychic scale, you get to add 1 to your roll.
Cool.
That's in addition to any booster, which we don't have for perception. But
I didn't think we had any perception boost, so... Is a 5 good enough? Because I rolled a 4 and then we have the +1.
It absolutely. It just has to be the danger where the danger track is, so just a 3.
Cool.
So we will draw clue 39. See what we can get. Excuse me for one moment, please. You calmly explain to the woman that you'd rather not go with her, and she returns to tending her plants. You grab the shiny object before leaving, and you find that it's warm to the touch. Your psychic senses tell you this is an important item. You slip away into the art gallery. You keep this item and move forward 3 spaces on the psychic scale. So this is item number 39, which is a large metal rod.
Inanimate carbon rod.
So we will go here and go 1, 2, 3 to just below 3 on the track. And this is item 39.
That's a lightsaber.
Yeah, it's a goddamn lightsaber.
Pretty much is.
Not gonna fool me.
Copyright. Can't do lightsaber. And where did you take that? And let's go to story card 32. Story card 32. Stepping into the marble floored, oh my goodness, art gallery, you are amazed by more than 100 gold frame paintings, plus countless abstract modern sculptures on pedestals. Wow, the entire collection must be worth gazillions. Too bad you've got no time to admire any of it. You're eager to keep moving. French doors lead to the study, and a doorway leads outside. You can see a pathway leading to an attached structure that appears to be a mother-in-law apartment. And we are psychic level 2 or higher, so we get to actually take a bonus item.
Yes!
It is time.
We get clue 54, which is our first premonition.
Ooh.
It looks like... Let me move that, and I'll expand it for you gentlemen. This.
A vault door.
So you can keep this, and it's just going to go with your items, and you can reference it as needed. So if you need me to grab it and enlarge it, let me know.
It's safe.
It's in a safe place. Just bump that up here. Okay. So, this is whose turn now? Who are we on?
Me?
That's what I thought, okay. Would you like to go through the French doors to the study, or would you like to take the path outside to the mother-in-law apartment?
I think I want to try the study.
To the study. All right, Paul, this is for you. Once inside the study, you're shocked to find 12 pairs of eyes staring at you in outrage. You stop dead in your tracks. There are a dozen, shady-looking people, all stuffing briefcases with bundles of cold, hard cash.
What
Literally,
the fuck?
they're taking money out of ice-filled coolers.
What the fuck?
You take another step, and all but one of the guys take off, suddenly spooked. The last one turns and glares at you. Since he's still holding his briefcase tightly with both hands, you're pretty sure you can take him. You see a hallway on the other side of the room that might serve to be a quick exit. So, Paul, you have an optional challenge here. You can attempt to fight the man with the cash-filled briefcase.
What the hell?
So it's a fight contest, which your lucky knife would work for.
Knife him up.
Knife him up.
Stab him. Take.
Knife.
That's got a 4.
Yeah, you're good.
Knife to meet you.
That's what you're pointing at? Oh, you want them?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we draw a clue.
Jarrod, please excuse yourself from the stream for that pun, by the way.
Okay.
38. 38 is an item. And it is, probably to the surprise of very few of us. I moved the wrong one. There we go. Should be better. Yes. A briefcase full of actual money. You are holding a briefcase that contains more money than Sergeant Morrison and Detective Murphy earn in 2 years. Your psychic senses tell you this is an important item. Keep this item. Move forward
Out of
once.
the house and go home and have money.
Yeah. Your psychic senses tell you that a briefcase full of money is rather important. So
My bank account senses are tingling.
Pretty much. So, good news is that advances you on the psychic track.
I have some money. I have a jar of it, and I keep it in a jar in my fridge.
What happened to the guy? Did I kill him?
Apparently, you just grabbed the briefcase from him.
Run away.
Jerk. Huh?
You won.
Did I
You wrestled.
fence him with a knife?
You've successfully wrestled this man with a knife. I'm going to prank him to death with a tire iron.
Oh boy.
That just said to continue the story card, right?
Mhm.
Fantastic. So we are going to continue below. There's no choice to make this time. It's just going to allow me to draw another clue. So this is still you, Paul. We're on another clue card here. So there's probably the choice will be made on this clue card, most likely, or not. You race down the hallway. So you've wrestled him, stolen his money, and run. You race down the hallway past the photographs and paintings of an old prison. You reach the end of a hall and find a metal door. So we're going to go to story card 60 now. And we go back to the top of the order to Dan. And good news. Chapter 2, goal achieved. Eventually, when it goes into focus. So, you shove the metal door open. When you close it behind you, clang. It sounds like the door to a jail cell slamming shut. You turn to check out where you are. There's an elevator. You get in and press the closed door button, and finally get a moment to catch your breath. You can't believe what you've been through so far. But this elevator should be your ticket to the basement, and that should bring you one step closer to uncovering the mystery of the sounds that you heard when you first entered this Marsden house. Now that you know where the elevator is, you wonder, should you go to the basement, or should you go back and investigate anything that you may have missed? Are you taking all the piles? Just wait a second, just in case they want to go back. Dan, you have options. We can proceed to Chapter 3. We can go back to the upstairs hallway. If we do that, we raise the danger meter up by 2. We can go back to the main dining room. We would again raise the danger meter to do this. We can go to the solarium, which we've done, so that'd be silly. Or we can go to the gallery, which we've also done, which would be silly. So you can either go to advance to the next chapter, or you can raise the danger meter and attempt to go back and do something else.
I think going forward.
Forward?
Yeah,
And always twirling?
twirling towards freedom.
Here you go, and I will bring up the background again for you guys to look at for a moment. Let me hide some items for you. That is 50, 39, and premonition.
Oh, you can't just put that all the way at the top.
I could. That would probably be sensible.
It makes sense.
Gives you more time to look at it.
Yes.
Oh boy.
That's the opposite of the top.
Ah, that's... Okay, I understand what I've done. Grabbed the wrong thing. There we go. I'll give you a couple seconds to look at that while I get some water and get my cards. For Chapter 3. What do you guys think so far? It's odd. It gets
Feels like
odder
it could
from
be
here.
really difficult.
We died once, I think. We died. in
Maybe we're
chapter
just idiots then.
Our meter didn't get above, I
4.
think, a 4-1, like the first 4.
Yeah, we did pretty well for the most part. We died in Chapter 2, I believe.
Yeah.
See if
Give
I
me
can.
that shiny coin. I would have gone after the coin too, Dan. Don't let them make
Okay, good. Bit agreed. Bit agreed.
That's okay. You never know when it's an important item.
Pot agreed. Pot agreed.
Well, it was a bad choice. It was either try to get that thing or go in a mausoleum. No, like just like go around the cemetery or.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move into Chapter 3. And who ended that round? That was Dan, right?
Yes.
So, Jarrod, you're still not sure what's really going on in this place. You were already freaked out by the creepy stuff you saw outside the Marsden house, and the discovery of spirits from beyond the grave inside the house. What? only made you more on edge. You steal your
You
nerves.
didn't discover spirits from beyond the grave yet.
That's right. You steal your nerves and remind yourself that you're not just an inspiring detective. You're a psychic investigator who apparently knows this place has ghosts, even though you haven't seen them.
Yep. I haven't met a ghost yet, but I believe they're here.
At any rate, you've come. It literally says at any rate. You've come way too far to turn back now. So all you can do is hope that the depths of the house hold some insight to the mysterious nightmares that have plagued you for weeks and drew you to this modern architecture house of horrors in the first place. But the elevator, which all of your hopes rest on, is totally trashed. The last person to use it must have really hated elevators.
They're trashing our elevators.
Based on the scratch marks on the walls, they may have had sharp claws too. A strange sensation now washes over you. Your head spins, you lose your balance, and you fall to your knees. Although you don't quite black out, you're overwhelmed by visions as your consciousness leaves your body and travels through the house's lower reaches on mind power alone. Good thing you psychically beat.
We're a psychic detective.
You drift downward through a meeting room full of huge shadowy figures and a laboratory stocked with equipment. Your awareness projects deeper under the estate. You finally come to a jail cell. Your mind can't penetrate to see who is inside, but a wave of anguish emits from it like heat in the sun. You sense that the person trapped inside is responsible for what you've encountered so far, and could help you with what you'll encounter next. So, we're going to draw clue 76, which will probably be our goal. What's our goal?
Rescue the prisoner you sensed from your psychic projection.
Okay. Your mind joins your body again as though swiftly snapping back into place. It takes you a moment to get your bearings. You're in your own body, in an elevator, in a spooky house that you somewhat regret ever setting foot inside. You check the panel and find that all the buttons have been pried off except for 2. They might be for only active basement levels. Of course, it's also possible they're just floors whoever wrecked the elevator wants to lure you to. With a whoosh, the elevator doors briskly close. So there are 2 buttons here you can press, one for sub-basement 2 and one for sub-basement 3. I think this is Jarrod, right? What would you like to do?
Man, both sound terrible. Guess 3.
Sub-basement 3.
Based on nothing at all.
The elevator drops with a jerk and continues to sub-basement 3.
Yeah, I know I'm a jerk.
The door opens up to into a room with 4 tables, or sorry, just tables, not 4, holding funnels, glass beakers, test tubes, thermometers, and safety goggles. It looks like a biochemistry lab. It's a complete wreck, just like the elevator. So you can add biochemistry to the list of things the vandal has a grudge against. There's a desk in the corner. Based on the pattern of stuff scattered on the floor, it appears someone was dragged away from it by force, then taken out a door and down a hall. Another door leads to a room where you can see large glass vats full of glowing blue liquid. So this is Paul's choice. Would you like to follow the path of destruction down the hallway, or would you like to enter the room with glass vats of glowing blue liquid?
Check out the liquid.
The liquid.
Yeah.
67. You see rows and rows of glowing blue vats, all filled with chimpanzees in various stages of development. The largest ones are as big as adult humans. Someone is bending the laws of nature to unethical extremes down here. The vats are plugged into a utility box on the wall. On top is a glowing cap with 3 crystals. It might be some kind of power source. Something about this crystalline cap calls to you. It feels important. From the utility box, cords and wires run into an adjoining room through a propped open door. There's also a conveyor belt that leads through an opening on the far wall. The belt's moving slowly, and the motion is mildly hypnotic. So we have an optional challenge if you'd like to try to pry the crystalline cap loose. And that would be a strength challenge if you'd like to try to do that. This is Dan, I believe, at this point.
we have any pluses to strength currently that I could use? I forget.
The wooden dowel as well as the shears, both add a +2 to strength.
To use the wooden dowel.
Wooden dowel. Don't roll a 1. Well, I mean, you can.
Well, I didn't. I rolled a 2, so...
Good enough, because that's a 4.
Closest you can get without actually getting there.
So, we draw a clue. 87. Which is an item. We'll pull that up here. 87 is the crystalline cap. You pry the crystalline cap from the utility box. Even unplugged, it still keeps glowing. The object gives you a shiver. Your psychic senses tell you this is an important item. Keep this item. Move forward 3 spaces on the psychic scale. So you got 1, 2, 3.
It's like, wow, what is this? I'm putting it on.
Yeah, I'm wearing it.
I feel more psychic.
My psychicness is tingling. Where do we want to go with this? I guess we can go down here, and we'll just drag this over. One more. There we go.
You could probably shrink some of the stuff on the right. Like, at this point, we're pretty familiar with pocket knife, shears, dowel.
Yeah, that is true. We'll do that. We'll do that after next round. I'll take a bit while the board's up to shrink some stuff for everybody.
Cool.
We'll do some good housekeeping.
This is the first time we've ever done anything like this, so please bear with us.
67 is the card we're going to next. No. Continue this card, which is 67. So, the next choice you get to make, after finding the crystalline cap, is to follow the cords through the door, or you can jump on the conveyor belt and see where that goes.
Both sound terrible.
Like either of those. I mean, I think the conveyor belt is probably the better one, but...
Conveyor belt?
None of it's good.
You have a bear with you? That seems dangerous. And this whole thing is... I mean, this is the House of Danger. Okay.
Danger
So
house.
follow the conveyor belt, and this room is full of bananas and money. At a glance, you can see that the money
What is wrong with this crazy ass house?
You can see that the money is counterfeit and very poorly fitted instead, or at that. Instead of presidents, the bills feature pictures of bananas. Along with the banana bills, the room contains squashed bananas that must have been run through a printing press. It's as if whoever was making
monkey
all this...
business.
It is monkey business. Whoever was making all this funny money was a little distracted. There's a precarious pile of bananas beneath a half shelf, and you can see a box up there. You can probably climb up to check it out if you dare. There is a door leading out into the hallway. Next to the door is a large unlocked freezer unit that's built into the wall. We are level 3 on the psychic scale, so we get to draw a clue. So let's do that.
Which one of us is responsible for making this decision?
I believe it's Jarrod now, correct?
Ah, hell.
87 in my hand, right? Yep, 72.
Hang on, monkey business, though.
87 out, right. So this is another premonition. So we go to 72. And I will move that and enlarge it for us. Woo! What could this be? Your guess is as good as mine.
Holy moly.
Your guess is better.
Okay, I'll move that over here. And I'll slide this up just for good housekeeping a little later on. There we go. Okay, so there's an optional challenge, Jarrod, and it is a climbing-based challenge. You can attempt to climb the banana pile.
Gaming, like tabletop and video gaming specifically, is just the number of times you encounter sentences that have probably been never said before they were written for the game.
Yeah.
Like, climb on top of the banana pile.
Right?
I believe I'm going to attempt to climb on the banana pile.
Okay. So looking for a 3 or better here. Nothing really to boost because I don't think we have any climbing help here.
No. A 4.
Okay, so we will take Clue 83.
My rolls have been great.
Clue 83 is the thing I was really hoping that you guys would get, and it's the item I think, of all of the items, Paul will appreciate the most. Because not only is it funny, it's got a great adjective in front of it. That's item 83, right? Mm-hmm. It is a snazzy tracksuit.
Son of a bitch.
You scale a teetering heap of bananas and snag the box. You open it to find a snazzy tracksuit. This will give you agility and style. So now this will give you +2 to any dexterity-based challenges you face, because you're in a snazzy tracksuit.
Put that on.
To see you as their king.
So, there you go. On top of the bananas, of course, is a snazzy tracksuit.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's pretty exciting. I was really hoping you guys would get this. We got this when we played too, and I laughed for, like a solid 2 minutes? Like, why is this in here?
Why not, bud?
So, now you have another choice to make. Would you like to head into the hall or open that freezer unit?
God damn. So, I'm basing some of my decisions off of the back of the card thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that big
As I
cube,
believe we should be at this point.
and that big ice cube, while it could have had to do with the cold hard cash, I also think it might have to do with this freezer unit, so I'm going to go into the freezer.
Okay, Paul, you ready for this? In your snazzy tracksuit? The moment you open the freezer door, a stench overtakes you. It's so cloyingly sweet that you almost gag. Then you hear breathing. A creature stands before you on 4 bulbous legs that jut out from a carved, elongated yellow body. Its pale skin's peeled back at the head to reveal a soulless black eyes and an enormous mouth full of razor-sharp teeth. It's a banana.
I knew it.
This shark-mouthed banana.
What the hell?
Crafted by some manner of mad scientist or dark sorcery far beyond your understanding. The creature shrieks and snorts, and it charges at you. I have a picture here of the banana shark.
Oh my god, I'm so happy and mad at the same time.
Yeah.
Give them the banana money.
Yeah, seriously.
Paul, there's a required challenge here. You must fight this banana, which would require fight, so you can use your pocket knife to face the banana.
Don't
All right.
roll a 1. 'Cause we have...
3.
3 is good enough. So we win. You win and get to draw clue 69. Nice.
Nice.
Its maw may be terrifying, but the creature's insides are soft and squishy as you'd expect a bananimal to have.
No. No, I quit.
It's on the card. I'm not making this up.
I don't fucking care if you're not making it up. I still quit.
I'm gonna
Fucking
mute myself.
Get fucked.
You split it in 2, and a glob of its flesh winds up in your mouth.
Bananas
It tastes
Split
amazing.
Robin Zero in twain.
It tastes amazing, and you're completely rejuvenated. Lower the danger meter by 3, which we can't possibly do. Move forward 2 spaces on the psychic scale.
Oh my god, I'm so happy.
So we go up to 16, level 4, very well done. And we go to story card 79.
We stole the bananimal's psychic powers.
Stop calling it a bananimal.
Story card, what was it?
79.
So thank you.
Nice.
Banana morph.
Morphs.
10 plus nice.
Ring, 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 ring. Banana moles. So, with the creature bested, you have a good opportunity to search the freezer unit, which is an odd triangle-shaped chamber designed to be opened on 3 sides. You see a huge red bed of banana leaves in the corner, piled with miscellaneous garbage. There might be something valuable in this weird nest, if you can stomach sifting through it. There's also a large block of solid ice stuck to the wall with something frozen inside. Perhaps you could break it open. You find that the freezer doors can be opened from the inside. You hear the soft hum of a machine purring behind one of them. The other is utterly quiet. Alright, Dan, so you have a couple optional challenges here. You may first and foremost search the nest if you elect to. It is a perception-based challenge.
Are we still without things that bump our perception?
That is accurate.
I don't feel confident in rolling a 3, so I'm not going to search the nest.
Oh, man.
Another optional challenge. Break open the block of ice, which is a strength challenge, allowing you to use the rod or the shears to help you.
I would like to use the rod and spoil the child.
Okay. So please do not roll a 1.
Well, I rolled a 6, so...
Pretty good.
So that's an 8
Yeah.
So
on
we
a
will
scale
go
of 1 to 6.
Yeah, that's an 8 on a 1 to 6 when I was looking for a 3.
Remember this one? It's a good one.
Oh,
So you have my favorite item probably in here, not for like enjoyment maybe as much as let me see if I can grab this boy. Okay, there we go. Fantastic.
oh
It is
wow.
A homemade ghost trap.
Holy shit.
It is a cassette tape recorder hardwired to a storage tank. An index card on the back says the tank is an astral containment vessel. So instead of capturing sounds, it captures ghosts. Your psychic senses tell you that this is an important item. You get to move forward 1 space on the psychic scale, and then we will finish the story card as well. So let's move this over yonder.
Incredible.
Yeah, homemade ghost trap. Well, I was excited when I saw it, and the concept of putting it into a tape recorder to like essentially record the ghosts and trap them, pretty
Yeah.
neat.
That's pretty chill.
I do like it. Now, choices that you get to make from here. You can try the humming door, or you can try the silent door. You got here way later than you wanted to be. Don't worry, King of Britons, we'll catch you up. It's not too hard.
Let me try the humming door.
You want to try the humming door?
Yep.
The room is filled with generators of every shape and size, and they all look extremely unsafe. In fact, one of the older, larger ones has a huge crack in its casing, but it's still running with irregular bursts of electricity arcing from it to every nearby surface. You'd rather not get too close to it, but you'll have to if you want to investigate the door to a vault on the other side. The only other exit isn't a door at all, but a massive hole in the wall that leads into total darkness. As you feel around in the dark for a light switch, you discover that the passageway isn't so much a hallway as a tunnel, with rough walls that have been dug out to the rock and the soil. So I'll show you a picture of the generator that's kind of attached to the vault there. So it's arcing electricity all over that. So the choice here is Jarrod's, I believe?
Ah, crap.
Would you like to try to get past the cracked generator and reach the vault, or would you prefer to go through the tunnel?
My psychic premonitions seem to tell me to go to this vault. And now that I'm in this snazzy tracksuit, I feel like this might be dexterity based.
Okay, so let's try the cracked vault. That's page 68. This happened to us, I think. Maybe I'm lying about that. Yeah. If you ever find yourself running a criminal organization, here's a great way to weed out your dumbest and least trustworthy henchmen. Put a big, tempting vault door behind a deadly piece of machinery that kills anyone who gets within 3 feet of it.
Ah, crap.
Unfortunately, this trick works on young psychic investigators as well. You press your back against the far wall and try to scooch towards the vault door as safely as possible, but it's no use. 100,000 volts of electricity surge through you, and your smoldering body slumps onto the floor dead.
Ah, my tracksuit.
So, if you die in this game, since King of Britons is here and wants to be caught up a little bit, not much happens. We don't lose any of our plethora of items here, but we do lose 2 spaces on our psychic scale, which is unfortunate because it knocks us back to level 3. And we return to the story card 72. which is now going to take us into the tunnel instead.
No, thankfully, King of Britain's, if we die in the game, we don't die in real life.
This came up already. This is the second time we've died in the game.
We've actually already addressed this.
Yep. So Jarrod and Dan both responsible for one of our set. And Paul, who has just been raising the danger meter like a madman, has not killed anybody yet somehow.
I killed the banana shark.
It was an accident.
Okay.
Show him the banana shark that I killed.
The banana shark? I can show him that.
Basic banana shark.
Banana shark. Banana shark, if you look down here, King Britain's, and it's not entirely washed out for a minute. They had to fight this banana shark, which was very squishy, like a banana would be.
And delicious.
And delicious. It did rejuvenate you guys. Okay, so now it is Paul's turn once again. You can't see more than a few feet in front of you as you walk down the tunnel. So when a man's voice calls out from the darkness, you almost jump out of your skin. Hey, you. You freeze. What now? You're the new lab assistant, right? It's about time you've got here. You got that briefcase? So you do have clue 38, which is the briefcase full of money. So you may choose... Oh, no, you don't have a choice. You have to give it to him. So you have that. So we're going to discard this clue. So we lose the briefcase full of money.
No!
Which is item 38.
No, I should have filled it with the banana money.
Our retirement fund.
And we're going to draw a new clue, which is clue 62. Pleasure doing business, he says. Even though you gave him what he wanted, he still spits on the floor and grumbles about his crew wanting him in the garage as he hurries away. Your psychic senses tell you that giving him the briefcase was the right thing to do. Move forward 2 spaces on the psychic scale, and then finish story card 87. So, let's move back to level 4, thankfully. And then we'll go back to here. And draw clue 62. Finish story card 87. So I guess we need clue 82. Oh no. Over here. The man rushes back down the tunnel in the direction he came from, his footsteps booming in the darkness. There's a door with iron bars built into the wall here. It looks like it could lead to a cell or some kind of kennel. It's unlocked. If you want to follow the man down the tunnel, we can do that. Or you can go to the open cell door to see what's inside.
I'll see what's in the cell.
The cell. 62. You slide open the barred door. It looks much more industrial than the other rooms you've been in. The door slides shut on its own, clang, and you hear it lock behind you. You see some kind of gated structure down the hallway in front of you, and quickly press yourself against the wall when you realize 2 figures are guarding it. There's also a desk on the side of the room that's out of the guard's line of sight. We are level 3 on the psychic scale. We're higher, so we can draw a clue. This is another premonition. That is number, what is that, 80? Clue 80 is... Nope. Clue 80. There we go. It is a brain on fire.
The whole entire thing.
So, that is what you have a premonition of, a brain on fire. Alright. So, if you want to try your luck with the guards, you can do that. Or, I think this is Dan's choice here, you can sneak across the room to the desk.
I'm gonna try to sneak across the room to the desk.
You get electrocuted.
Forever the rogue. Alright, Jarrod. You make it to the desk unnoticed. The only thing here is a fancy new computer. It's a shiny beige box underneath a monitor that glows with rows of green text. That's how you know it's new. It's got green text. And a blinking command prompt. If you can manage to break through the computer's security, you might find some useful information stored in its internal memory. So, you may make a perception-based challenge, But since you're level 3 or higher on the psychic scale, you get to add 1 to the result of your roll.
Oh, I'm doing it.
Okay. Don't roll a 1.
6.
That sounds like it's more than 1 to me. Right, so we're going to draw clue 66. You can't crack the computer's security, but then you notice an index card taped to the underside of the monitor.
I love
Written
it.
on the card is B @ symbol, N @ symbol, N @ symbol. So it's banana. Could this be the computer's password? You try it. Boop! It works. After a few seconds of poking around in some files, you learn that there is a very important prisoner being held in cell C.
VIB, very important banana.
All right. The one way out of here is down a hall to a gate, which is guarded by 2 chimps. So you don't get to pick where we're going. We're just going to the other card, which was approaching the guards. So this is Paul here. Very important prisoner. Shorten that to VIP. I like it. 2 guards are huge chimpanzees, as tall as you are. They are walking upright, just like you are. They are wearing security guard uniforms, just like you are not. They notice this key difference, so they attack you. So this is you, Paul. It's a required challenge. You have to fight the chimpanzee guards, but you can use your pocket knife to do it, because it's a fighting-based challenge.
I'm doing all the fighting here. Knife him up.
You are. You're just the fighter.
It's so weird. We're playing the same character, but we've all taken different roles.
Add 1.
Hmm?
How much did the knife add? 1?
Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
knife adds 1. So really all you have to do is not roll a 1 and we're past.
Yeah.
5.
Fantastic. Do we have clue 28?
No.
Okay. Do we have clue 77?
No.
No.
Okay. We do not have clue 28 or 77. So we're going to...
Each of them was a different banana.
88. Oh, this flips over, right? Yes, I have to read the top. Once you defeat the chimpanzee guards, you find the gate will only open with an electronic key card. So we don't have the electronic key card. Without the electronic key card, you're trapped. You can't get past the gate, and you can't leave the detention center through the locked front door. Just as you're about to give up, you spot a hole in the ceiling tile, mostly obscured by shadows from the corner of the room. So no choice to be made here. We go to the ceiling by drawing clue 70. So you still may have a choice yet. I think this is Dan now.
Yes.
We're covered in chimpanzee blood.
The hole opens into a vertical shaft with haphazardly placed handholds, like a climbing wall. You found a secret passage. So as a required challenge here, we have to ascend this. So, Dan, if you would make the climbing challenge roll, which we have nothing to climbing, just the snazzy tracks, it's just dexterity, not climbing.
Here we go. Rolled a 3.
Okay, good enough.
Yep,
So,
barely, but good enough.
draw clue 81. You've climbed 20 feet when the handholds suddenly recede into the wall and disappear. This isn't just any secret passage. It's a booby-trapped one. Think fast. So here's another required challenge. It's a perception-based challenge, Dan. And you are trying to avoid falling.
That's crap. Wouldn't that be dexterity?
I agree
Yeah.
wholeheartedly. I guess you're trying to find a way to not fall is what they're angling for.
You have to see the rope before you can grab it.
Yep.
And here goes nothing.
Yep.
Oh, good. We rolled a 5.
Fantastic. All right, so now clue 78. So still you, Dan. We're still in clues. You found a ledge, but getting onto it is going to take some serious agility. Now there's a dexterity challenge that is required. Get on the ledge, quick.
The tracksuit comes
Fortunately,
in
we have a
handy.
tracksuit for that.
Yep, so don't roll a 1.
Don't worry, I rolled a 6.
Okay, fantastic. So now we need clue 73. So still you, Dan. Oh my god. There's a passageway carved into a stone wall here, but someone has piled up a bunch of rocks to block the entrance. So now you must strength to move the rocks, but you have a wooden dowel and shears that can help you. So just don't roll a 1.
I'm going to use this wooden dowel. Same one I've used several times for a variety of different strength-based checks.
9. It said on the front.
Rolled a 2.
Good enough. So now
Loving those good enough rolls.
So we're going to continue to torture you with things. So there's another clue. Halfway down the passage, you find a chimpanzee sitting at a desk. He's smoking cigarettes and watching TV. And he also looks angry. So now you must required challenge fight this angry chimpanzee. This angry smoking, television watching chimpanzee. It's a fight challenge, so you may use your pocket knife.
Yeah, I'm gonna stab this bitch.
Yes, please do. Don't roll
Rolled
one.
2.
That is not a 1. So we lower the danger meter by 1, and now we draw another clue. We can't lower it. 75. 75. This is precarious to do. What the heck? You run past the chimp and right into a 10-foot guinea pig. It is adorable, and it can kill you. You can choose to attack it, sneak past it, heave a table at it, climb over it, or find another solution. So you have your choice of what skill you'd like to use to attempt to conquer the guinea pig.
Sneak past it is
Dexterity.
probably dexterity, and we have a plus to that with the tracksuit.
Yeah, because it's so snazzy.
Yeah, I'm gonna snaz past him.
Snaz it up.
Hilarious that I'm using a snazzy tracksuit to sneak past somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Woohoo! 4.
4. So we draw clue 77. Still on clues.
This is incredible.
This is quite the run. You see an access key card on the floor. You grab it and run through the doors in front of you, unsure of what's on the other side. So this is item 77. So you get this. So that's item 77. Which is buried back here. Got it. You have the
Oh wow, that looks like a fucking Netrunner card.
It does. It does.
Go to story card 69. Nice.
Yep. I was just going to bring that up.
Nice.
You are now in a chamber with 3 prison cell doors. They're heavy iron things with small barred windows that make it difficult to see what might be inside. There's a ring of 3 keys hanging from a nail on one wall. So, Jarrod, would you like to go to cell A, B, or C?
I believe C is the thing that we should be doing.
Okay, story card 85. All right, Paul.
I had one decision.
Someone sleeping on the cot in cell C with a thin blanket pulled over their face. You can wake up the prisoner so you can talk to them, or attack them before they can attack you, or simply tiptoe out of the cell. So you can talk to them, you can attack them, or leave the cell.
I'll talk to them.
Okay. Clue 67. So this is still you, Paul. We're going to clue 67. You gently shake the prisoner by the shoulder. He flings the blanket from his face. It's an exhausted-looking man who's obviously relieved that someone has finally come to rescue him. Thank you. I'm Professor Marsden, he says. Marsden, you ask? Are you related to Henry Marsden? Yes. This estate was of my ancestor, General Marsden. But at the moment, we have more urgent things to discuss. So we are going to proceed to story card 90. So you have achieved the goal for chapter 3. So we're on to Dan now. Professor Marsden looks very worried. You have to help me stop my former research assistant, he says. She's twisted our scientific research for evil. She's responsible for all these chimps, you ask? Yes, he says, but there's something bigger afoot. I'm talking about the alien science. Marsden says he can provide all the answers you're looking for, but you should first make sure you're prepared. He can give you explicit directions to important locations if you think you've missed anything. So, you may go to the biochemistry lab, which we've already done. You can crawl through the air duct to the conference room. We have to raise the danger meter by 3 in order to go back and do that. You can go to the printing press room, which we've done. Or you can go to the generator room, which we've done. So you can either progress to Chapter 4, or you may increase the danger meter by 3 and head to the conference room.
So increasing the danger meter by 3 is going to put us onto the next step. Because it's going to put us into 4.
But we could also just drink a bottle of water.
I suppose that's fair, actually. Yeah, that's probably correct.
So you'd like to do the conference room?
Let's increase that danger meter.
Yeah.
So you are going to the conference room. So story card 65. Yes. Sorry.
And then don't forget to increase the meter.
65, and we increase the meter by 3. 1, 2, 3. The air... Oh. That's okay. The air duct takes you over a loud room full of what sounds like a gang of rowdy hooligans. You peek through a grate and discover a group of massive, savage chimps sitting at a conference table, snarling, growling, and beating their chests. Sounds like where I work. A woman sits at the head of the table,
Jesus.
speaking to them, but you're too far away to hear them or to hear her over the chaos. There's a smaller, more rickety air duct that leads to the wall by the woman, and if you're careful, you could probably make it there to hear what she's saying. You could also see from here that the air duct you're in splits off and terminates into 2 other rooms. The room on the left is dimly lit by the glow of blue liquid in large glass vats, which we're familiar with. The room on the right is pitch black. You could quietly crawl to either and jump out. So there is an optional dexterity challenge here, Jarrod, to crawl through the rickety air duct to hear the woman speak.
I'm doing that.
Yeah, dexterity based, so you're on the don't roll a 1. Well, actually, now you can't roll a 1 or a 2.
That's okay, because I rolled a 1.
Okay, so
does that mean we lose our tracksuit?
No! We do.
Yeah.
Yep. So the snazzy
It's a tracksuit.
is item 83.
You monster!
I am a monster. I really like that
tracksuit. And we raise the danger meter by 2. 1, 2. And we draw a clue. And that's clue 71. So this is still you, Jarrod. We're on a clue.
Yeah.
You crawl through the rickety air duct. You feel like you got this under control. Wait, right when you're thinking about how impressed you are that you have this under control, you accidentally bang your knee against the air duct metal, which causes your head to bash into the metal, which causes your elbow to bonk against the metal. Then you fall out of the air duct onto the conference room, landing on a large pile of bananas that break your fall.
Oh god, they're gonna eat me.
So now we go to story card 84.
Save us, Paul.
Paul, it sounds like they're
many chimps are
fighting. Who knows? There are more than a dozen screeching chimps here, packed around a big conference table. A middle-aged woman is giving a business presentation to them using an overhead projector and transparencies covered in colorful pie charts. "Who's there?" the woman yells. She turns to the room full of chimps. "What are you waiting for? You know what to do. These chimpanzees are giant. Not even your karate training will help you here," because apparently you have that too. In a choreographed movement, each of the chimps produces a long bamboo blowpipe that has a dart inside, points the pipe at you, and blows through the tube with a th sound. You immediately feel 20 pinpricks from 20 darts and the slow fall of poison through your system as you fall asleep. Forever. The end. So you have died. You move 2 spaces back on the psychic scale.
No.
1, 2. And you return to the previous card.
So Jarrod's killed us twice?
Jarrod has killed us twice, Dan has killed us once.
Technically, it switched to your card. Yeah, it's my fault.
Death count 3, thank you, King of Britons. So now we are to Dan here on this card, which is the same card Jarrod had. Optional challenge, Dan. You can attempt to crawl through the rickety air duct to hear the woman speak.
Sure.
Okay.
Is my just die the death?
The loss will be repeating that death condition over again. You can drink a bottle of water also if you'd like to do that.
That's probably correct here, but not my decision at the moment.
Dan, would you like to drink a bottle of water?
Drink water.
You will drink water. So that will take care of that item. And it is a dexterity-based challenge. So you have nothing to assist you but your roll of 1, 2, 3. So you're just looking for 3, 4, 5, or 6.
4.
Okay, that is a success. So we draw clue 84. You crawl through the rickety air duct without breaking it, or yourself, and overhear the woman lecturing the chimps on ways to improve the profitability of a counterfeiting operation. The chimps are less than attentive. You crawl back into the main vent, not sure what to think. We'll go back to story card 65.
That information wasn't actually really new at all.
Yes.
So, Dan, you may crawl through the left duct and go towards the room full of vats of glowing blue liquid, or you can crawl through the right duct and jump into the pitch black room.
Blue liquid.
Blue liquid, so 67, which I think we have utilized in the past. 67. Okay. You see rows and rows of glowing blue vats, all filled with chimpanzees in various stages of development. The largest ones are as big as adult humans. Someone is bending the laws of nature. We know all this. The crystalline cap is there. So we are familiar with this room. Pretty good, Jarrod. We can't take the optional challenge here. So you can either follow the cords through the door, or you can go down the conveyor belt.
Oh, what did we do last time? The belt?
The belt.
I mean, technically we already know what we have to do to get back out.
Mm-hmm.
But now I want to try something different.
All right. So following the cords.
Following the cords.
Sounds good. 72. Which maybe maybe a little bit more familiar than we think. Yep. All right, Paul, the room is filled with generators of every shape and size. They all look extremely unsafe. In fact, one of the older, larger ones has a huge crack in its casing, but still running with irregular bursts of electricity arcing from it to every nearby surface. You'd rather not get too close to it. The only other door isn't an exit, it's a tunnel. So would you like to attempt to break into the electrified vault, or would you like to go through the tunnel?
Tunnel.
Yep. 87. Okay, so we're now on to Dan. There's no man here anymore. You can either go down the tunnel, or you can go down in through the cell door.
No?
Tunnel?
Tunnel.
Tunnel. It's 81. A new card. Ooh, a new card. You find your way into a big automotive garage where dozens of unsavory characters are engaging in at least 37 different felonies in a row.
That's so quickly.
If nothing else, you have to admire their sheer industriousness. Hey, you're not the new lab assistant, somebody shouts. You're a trespasser. And you've seen too much, shouts another criminal. The criminals get into an argument about whether they should kill you with knives or drown you in a lake. The lake is too far, one criminal reminds his colleagues, so they agree to go with their first choice, once again resulting in a stabbing. The end. So you have been knifed to death by hooligans.
Oh my god, we're terrible.
So Dan.
I've died twice and Jarrod's died twice.
Correct. So move back 2 spaces on the psychic scale. And return to the previous card. So now we will go to the cell, which is 62. And I think from there it's going to be fairly elementary to get back to where we were. Story card 62. Yeah, it should be in here. Apparently I just don't know what numbers are. Okay. You slide open the barred door. There is no more guards in here. We've already been to the desk, so we are going to go to story card 74. Okay, we've done the chimpanzees now, and we do have this, so we progress to story card 69. Nice. And then we have the keys. So at this point, you can make unique decisions, so we'll give this to Paul, because we kind of trying to kick the door down for treasure. Always trying to kick the door down for treasure. Paul, we could try cells A or B if you'd like to try either of those. We've already tried. You know what's in cell C.
Didn't we make it back to those chimpanzee guards we were at, though, right?
They've been dispatched. You dispatched the chimpanzee.
Yeah, but we didn't have the key card then.
Right. So it's just, instead of having to do that ridiculous set of climbing, and you just get to go right to where that leads without all the extra challenges.
Now we're in where the cells are?
Correct. So there's cell A, B, and C. And you have tried C. There's A and B as well if you want to look in those.
Well, doesn't C lead to chapter 3 or whatever?
Chapter 4, yes.
Yeah, I'll go there.
Okay, cell C it is. So that is story card 85. Cards backwards. 85. Alright, so this is to Dan. I assume you want to just talk to the prisoner again and not attempt to fight him?
Yeah, I really don't look, not looking at fighting.
Yeah. So, clue 67. Clue 67? I just need to know what page.
90.
Story card 90, thank you. Here we go. And this is back to the goal is achieved, so we're Jarrod now. Jarrod, would you like to backtrack at all, or would you like to continue?
I believe we should just continue.
You guys did. That's a healthy stack, that one. Fantastic. So, I will bring up the board again so everybody can see it. And I'll rearrange some items because they are kind of in the way. We'll shrink some things down. So, the back of the board is kind of this obscure image of important things throughout the game that you may come in contact with. So, take a look at that.
I'm not really seeing that most of that is actually relevant yet.
I was under the same impression.
Where were the giant chimpanzees?
Yeah, the chimpanzees were not even mentioned on this beautiful card here.
You did see the servant woman with the spider web ceiling.
True.
And the blue vats.
And
the ice. And the pool.
Alright, fair. Maybe the chimpanzee was just too much.
No banana shark either.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for you to move that one last picture on the thing so I can look at the center of the big image.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, none of that looks like banana peels.
I mean, yeah.
No, that looks like banana peels. No, this looks like banana money to me. So, 77, just move that up. Bless you.
Thank you.
We need to get the sword and stab the pool.
Yeah. Yeah, the weird yellow thing in the middle actually just is a house, it looks like.
Yeah, maybe that's...
That is the house. The
house? Yeah.
Yeah, the modern house.
Modern house.
Dirt John house. House on time.
Get me to that house on time. 87.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. I'm going to take the game board back away now, and I'm just going to finish some real quick resizing.
So this brain is on fire.
Yeah, that's interesting, right?
Fault. And I cannot tell what that other thing is.
This is item 13.9. Okay. We'll try not to mess anything up while you're gone. Try. No, certainly no promises. So that will go there. And finally, item 50. Shrink that down a wee bit. Oh, item 50. Why are you fighting me, buddy? Item 50. Where is you? OBS not the best for this thing, but not bad.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah. Alrighty then. We have gotten stuff, and we are on chapter 4. Chapter 4. Whose turn is it now?
I believe.
I think it's you, Jarrod, right?
Oh, well, no, I chose to wait. Yeah.
Oh, I think Paul got us here.
Yeah.
So I think it's me.
To Dan.
Yeah, Paul chose to go through the same door we went through before.
And thanks to everybody who's watching. We are playing House of Danger, which is a choose-your-own-adventure board game, which plays like an RPG light. Collecting items, everything we're doing is rolling a d6 and checking it against this danger meter, which moves up and down depending on how well or poorly the guys are doing. And there's also a psychic scale, which our character is a psychic investigator, and he gains or loses psychic attunement as the game gets played. The higher we are, the better we can get and more rewards we can get, which ends up being kind of helpful because you do miss a lot of stuff or pick up a lot of stuff. So we are on Chapter 4, The Hideout. After encountering dangers outside the house, facing multiple ghosts inside the house, discovering, which we didn't do, discovering an underground laboratory, stumbling upon angry chimpanzees, you're ready to get some answers about this place and the nightmares that brought you here. The mysterious phone call I got this morning, you say. It was you, wasn't it? Phone call? What phone call? Wait, it couldn't have found a way to access the phone lines, could it? Professor Marsden's eyes go wide, and he'll look on your face, and then he sees a look on your face and shakes his head. Well, it's not that important right now, he says. Something about his tone leads you to suspect it is important, but you don't want to push it. If you've managed to get this far, you must be quite the aspiring detective. And psychic investigator, you add. You go on to tell him about the recurring nightmares that drove you to delve into this whole bizarre mystery. Nightmares, he asked. Fascinating. If your dreams mean what I think they do, then I'm glad you're here. I can explain more later, but right now, getting to the neuron inhibitor mainframe is the crucial thing. The only way to retake the lab from my dastardly former lab assistant, Carol. He says the name in a hoarse whisper, as if he's speaking aloud. Speaking it aloud could summon some ancient evil.
Oh, yes. That was Carol.
Yes, that was Carol. Together, we discovered a source of technology far beyond anything this world has ever seen, but she betrayed me. She used our work to take control of the chimpanzees and start a counterfeiting ring with a local crime syndicate. We made scientific discoveries worthy of Einstein, of Galileo, and then she uses it all to... He trails off. I'm sorry. I must have been locked in here so long I've forgotten my manners. Now that you've freed me, I can open a secret passage for you that will lead to the neuron inhibitor mainframe. It will take you through an area where our most experimental work was being conducted. Be careful. It can get dangerous in there. It's just me who's going, you ask, with fear in your voice? Yes, he says. I'll need to monitor your progress from the operations room, where I have access to the security system. Here, use this earpiece so we can communicate. So we get clue 91, which is the goal for this chapter. So we need to disable the neuron inhibitor mainframe. The clear glass door leads to the temporal manipulation lab, the professor continues. The frosted glass door goes to the psychic development room. The professor takes off for the operations room as the secret passage opens from the empty jail cell next door. The two glass doors are now before you. Too bad the professor didn't explain which route was best to get to the neuron inhibitor mainframe. So Dan, would you like to go to the temporal manipulation lab or to the psychic development room?
Psychic development room, because that sounds more likely where, what we're looking for might be.
Okay. Jarrod. This room features several rows of blue metal chairs. Dome-shaped helmets attached to odd-looking devices hang above the chairs. There's also a large glass tube big enough for you to step into with a door on the side. A green button is accessible from inside the tube. You slowly realize you've seen these machines before in photos in the reference book Ghosts and Ghouls, which you have on your bookshelf back at home. The photos were taken in a chapter about how rogue parapsychologists were attempting to give ordinary people psychic abilities. If you remember correctly, The blue chairs are attached to machines intended to give the subjects pyrokinesis, the ability to start fires with their mind. The large glass tube is an energizing chamber that gives people telekinesis, the ability to move objects with their mind, and both seem ready to go. A metal stairwell on the far side of the room leads to some sort of observation booth, which overlooks the room you're in, and possibly others. So, here are your three choices.
Yep.
Sit in one of the pyrokinesis chairs, enter the energizing chamber for telekinesis, or you can skip all the weird equipment and climb the stairs to the observation booth.
Talk me out of getting fire powers, guys.
We got that fire brain.
Get the brand on fire.
Okay, so you didn't talk me out of it. We're doing fire brain.
Fire brain, so pyrokinesis 117.
I think I might pull ahead on the killing us card.
Increase my killing power, you say.
Oh no, we got that fire brain card. It might be a good thing.
Alright, Paul. As soon as you sit down on the cold metal seat, a dome helmet drops onto your head and begins rewiring your neural pathways to activate mysterious, previously untapped portions of your brain. It's fun, and more importantly, it gives you the ability to create fire with a simple thought. Creating fire is easy, but actually controlling it, it's a whole different story. In fact, once you've realized you've lit your shirt ablaze, all your panic attempts to diminish the flames with your mind only end up creating more of them, and you burn yourself in mere seconds. You are dead. Move back 2 spaces on the psychic scale.
No!
Hey, argue that Paul actually killed us this time.
I didn't kill us. That wasn't my choice.
I agree with that.
We got the flaming brain.
Well, to be fair, in that case, that means he's at 2 because he's also the other one that made the other decision.
All right, fair.
Or,
No, that doesn't count.
no, I mean, I'm the one that made the decision. He's just the one whose card it landed on twice. So
Yeah, see, I don't think you get to have like any of the effects of the choices you make. I think you should make the choice and then go until the next choice, and then the next person makes that choice. That would make more sense.
Interesting.
Also, I hate how it can just skip your turn entirely if there's no choice.
Right. Yeah,
It's like, well, that wasn't even a turn.
I agree. So, Dan, would you like to sit in a pyrokinesis chair? Would you like to enter the energizing chamber of the telekinesis tube? Or would you like to skip the weird equipment and go to the observation booth?
Observation booth.
See, Jarrod killed me, and then I don't even get a turn.
Not even interested in telekinesis?
No.
Okie dokie. 99. The observation booth has thick windows that look down into a circular chamber where you see a human-sized chimp in a hospital gown sitting at a table. The poor animal's head is shaved and hugely swollen. Electrodes are attached to pulsing veins. The chimp is gazing intently at a small wooden boat which is floating in midair above the table. The chimpanzee sees you, and the moment his eyes meet yours, you start to black out. You break eye contact just before losing consciousness and decide you better exit this room quickly. Next to a fire extinguisher on the wall is a map, which gives you a quick overview of the area. You orient yourself and see that the observation booth is next to the cryogenics lab and the supercomputer room. So, Jarrod, you may go to the cryogenics lab, or you may check out the supercomputer room.
I will go to the supercomputer room.
Supercomputer room. All right, Paul. As soon as you enter the room, the computer lights up. Present your credentials, a digital voice demands. It must be the computer. You mutter something about being the new lab assistant. I judge that to be false. You have come here seeking answers. My memory banks contain all the information you desire, but access is forbidden. You don't see a keyboard, so apparently voice commands are the only way you can interact with this thing. Unless, of course, you best me in a competition of my choosing, the computer continues. Be wary, human. No flesh creature has ever defeated me and my limitless mind.
No human has rolled a 3 yet.
If you agree to contest this computer, Paul, let me know.
Yes.
Okay, so I need clue 97. So the computer contest begins. A compartment in the computer's casing opens, and a robotic arm extends from inside of it. The supercomputer wants to arm wrestle you. So you must compete in a strength challenge against the supercomputer. So somehow shears or a wooden dowel will assist you with a +2 in the strength challenge.
Oh, it's amazing.
I'll use the wooden dowel.
Good old wooden dowel. Don't roll a 1.
That was a 3.
Okay.
Hey,
So clue 102.
the reason nobody's beaten you is because they haven't used a stick before.
Okay, I think
Just use it to whack off the armor.
item, I do believe. Let me see.
102.
102 is an item. 102, thank you, is an item. The quantum synthesis stabilizer. You defeat the supercomputer and gain access to its files. 1 is a diagram of a rod-shaped device called a quantum synthesis stabilizer. If you have clue 39, which we do, large metal rod, keep this item and move forward 2 spaces on the psychic scale. So,
I'm really glad I got that large metal rod.
aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
So let me shrink this a little bit and move up clue 102, or item 102, on our board here. Okay, fantastic. And we go up 2 ticks on the psychic scale, taking us back to level 3. And we finish up this card. So Paul, would you like to take 2 doors leading out of the supercomputer room. You start to open one door and the computer shouts, "Do not attempt to enter the armory." You start to open the other door and the computer shouts, "Do not attempt to enter the observatory." The computer may be pushy, but it's also quite informative. So if you'd like to take the observatory door, you can do that, or you may take the armory door.
Observatory.
Observatory. Okay. So Dan, you go up a long flight of stairs that leads to an observatory where you find Professor Marsden staring at the stars. "How did you get here first?" he asked. "It's all my fault," he murmured sadly, lost in thought. "We reached out to the stars and they reached back. But when the creature made contact, we got greedy and captured him for further study. I fear your nightmares mean he's sending out telepathic messages in hopes of being rescued. If you want them to end, you must set the creature free. This is why," the professor continues, "we need to take back the compound from Carol, disable the neuron inhibitor mainframe controlling the chimpanzees, and free the alien ambassador. Carol watches over the mainframe constantly, so you'll be heading into great danger. Make sure you're fully prepared before you move on. There's a hallway to the mess hall and a back door that leads outside the house. So, you may choose, Dan, if you wish, to return back to a previous choice. You can go to the temporal manipulation lab, you can go back to the psychic development room, you can go to the armory, or the observation booth. You've been to the development lab and the observation booth. So,
If he said we were meant to be prepared, kind of want to go to the armory.
okay. So in order to do that, we have to raise the danger meter by 3 if you want to do that. It's your call.
What does everybody else think?
You can continue to the mess hall or through the house through the back door. The 2 options you can do without raising the danger meter.
Cool.
Yeah. What does everybody else think?
Yeah, I don't know if fully prepared is a stick and some shears
Yeah.
and a knife.
Are you sure?
I mean, true, it can best a computer.
You also have a homemade ghost trap.
Which is perfect for the ghost that we didn't see. Can't believe that. I'm just gonna leave it up to you, man. I'm torn on this.
Raise it.
Raise it.
Yeah.
Activate the Omega 13.
1, 2, 3.
Probably best.
And we're going to the armory. So, story
And
card
you die.
94.
It's full of guns. And there's ghosts apparently, so you're doomed.
All right, Jarrod, you enter the armory. The door closes behind you, and then you hear it lock automatically. The room is nearly empty, and you realize with a shudder that whatever weapons are usually kept here are probably in the hands of people or chimpanzees roaming the hallways outside. The only thing left is a massive artillery gun mounted on a swivel in the center of the room. There are also a bunch of lockers lining the wall, if you'd like to search through them.
Ooh, lockers.
You have an optional challenge here to search the lockers, and you are psychic level 3, so you get a +1 if you elect to do this.
I will
Perception
lockers.
challenge.
We have to get a 4.
Yep.
I rolled a 2, so we got a 3.
Yep. So we raise the danger meter by 2, and you do not further search the lockers.
Yeah.
Okay. Go up, there you go. Up by 2, and you can no longer search the lockers.
Yeah.
There's a door here, and you can see through its window that leads into a stairwell. Unfortunately, this door is locked. The artillery gun you found has a shell in it, though, so you could probably blast your way through. As a matter of fact, why limit yourself? With that thing, you could probably get through the wall in the opposite door. Instant shortcut. So if you'd like to blow a hole through the door to the stairwell, you can. Or if you'd like to simply blow a hole through the wall, you can also do that.
God damn it. So,
Much more so.
yeah, much more so. Castle special, going through the wall.
Through the wall. Paul, you carefully navigate stray chunks of masonry and find yourself in a laboratory. There's a closet-sized metal box here, big enough for you to get into, connected to a terminal. Some notes you find scattered on the desktop contain terms like DNA decoding unit and cellular replicator. You know what this thing's for. Clones. It makes clones. You're sure of it. Well, you're like 90% sure. There's a flashing red light on the terminal that might mean something's not working properly, but the computer is so old it uses punch cards. You just know that trying to figure out what's wrong with this computer would be a huge pain. There is a time clock on the wall above the column of time cards with a handwritten index card that says Observatory Employees. Next to it is a stairway leading upwards. So as a free action, we are not level 4. So
Nope.
we can't do that. So if you would like to, Paul, clone yourself, we can do that. If you'd like to take the stairs and go to the observatory, you may do that.
It's clonely at the top.
So you'd like to clone yourself? Alright, Dan, let's see what Paul's gotten us into here. The cloning chamber switches on automatically when you step inside, scanning you with some kind of energy that leaves every square inch of your body tingling uncomfortably. You stumble out, dazed, and glance back in time to see the chamber fill with blinding light. When you've blinked the vision back into your eyes, you find yourself face to face with your exact duplicate. It's a little unsettling. What are you even supposed to do when you first meet yourself? Shake hands? Hug? Apparently, you've misread the situation entirely, and the proper response is punching, because your evil clone grimaces in rage and lunges for your throat.
Oh god, our evil clone is Grimace.
So, Dan, you must fight yourself. That is required of you, and it's a fighting challenge, so you may use your knife. What is it? You pointed at a thing. No, those aren't. You can't use this. It's a fighting challenge. Just the knife. You need a decent roll here.
Yeah, I do. Come on, 6, baby. Daddy needs a new pair of shoes.
4 would work.
Oh, 5 will do.
5 is also good.
5 is not 6, but it
So
will
you
do.
win. We're on to a clue now.
If they cloned the clothing too, you technically got another pair of shoes.
You beat your clone back into the chamber and hit unclone, which is a button. Then you watch as your evil version of yourself implodes, screaming into nothingness. You then head to the observatory. So we get to move forward 1 space on the psychic scale.
But what if we're the clone?
And we get to lower the danger meter by 4.
Oh, good.
1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you. And then we head back to card 108. So that is the observation room again. So you're back to Professor Marsden. This time it is Jarrod's choice. You can go to the temporal manipulation lab, which raises the danger track by 3, and that's the thing we haven't done yet. Otherwise, you can go back to the psychic development room. Again, danger meter goes up by 3. And then the armory and the observation booth you've done as well. Got a new follower. And I missed the... Let me go back to the recent events here. So I don't want to miss whoever followed. Zeev72, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hope you like it. It's our first time giving a stab at this, but I figure it's safe. It's COVID safe, right?
Yeah.
Not looking for that kind of scary around Halloween.
So, do I have a choice that isn't increasing the dangers?
You do. You can go to the mess hall, or you can leave the house through the back door.
Let's try mess hall.
Mess hall. Which is this story card. Paul. The mess hall is filled with long metal tables and ugly plastic chairs. Judging by the sheer volume of rotting banana peels piled into overflowing trash cans, you'd guess that's mostly used by the chimpanzees. Chimpanzees who don't believe in composting. The room has high ceilings, and you can see an area on the next level with a railed balcony that overlooks the entire room. There might be something interesting up there, but you'll have to climb to find out. There's also a door that leads to the pantry, in which you see a cupboard. Doesn't say if there's an Indian in there or not. So optional challenge is you can climb to the overlook, which is a climbing challenge.
No.
Okay, so you get to go to the pantry. This way for num-nums. Alright, Dan. The cupboard is bare. In fact, all you can find here are several bunches of brown squishy bananas and some MREs. Unlike the bananas, these things last forever. Apparently. That's just not... Well, I mean, I guess maybe if Dan's YouTube would lead him to believe it does. Free action. If you'd like to take an MRE, you may.
Sure.
You get that onto a tray?
Get this out onto a tray. Nice.
So there is the MRE. That's item 105. So the meal turns out to be a chicken dinner complete with a little chemical warming packet. You can lower the danger
Lightless ration heater
when you discard the MRE. So a pretty useful item.
Bottle of food.
Bottle of food.
bottle of white.
Wow. Whoa. Whoa.
Look, man, it's late and I'm fucking tired, so...
Whoa.
Bottle of Billy Joel.
Whoa. Brenda and Eddie.
Brender.
They apparently get their food delivered directly to the pantry around here because the other door opens to the outdoor and you can hear the storm raging outside. So you don't get a choice here. We get to go outside.
Hooray! Glad we have this meal.
101. Jarrod, outside the house, you find that the storm has intensified. The rain is falling sideways now, and severe winds sting your face. There's light coming from the partly open bay door of an aircraft hangar a short distance away. And if you creep along the wall, you could probably avoid detection and most of the weather on your way there. In the darkness, you can also make out the silhouette of something large and round on the lawn. You're not sure what it is, but after Professor Marsden's story about captured psychic aliens, you can probably make a good guess. We are not level 4 or higher on the psychic scale, so we don't get a bonus clue. So would you like to head towards the hangar, or would you like to head towards the round object?
Round object, round object, round object.
Okay, it looks like this.
Oh, yeah. That's a tree, isn't it? Cut that.
So the round object goes over to 114. You sneak over to the big round object. This thing is a spaceship. It has a
Yes.
cold ceramic skin, and it's perfectly smooth. You can't find a single bolt or seam. From here, you see a window to the main house where a whole bunch of chimpanzees are gathered around a boardroom table with a woman at the front of the room and a computer console. It's Carol. First things first, you climb aboard the egg craft, look at the instruments, and get the psychic sensation that you already possess the knowledge to operate this vehicle. There's a metal lock protecting a control panel, though. If you could burst it, you might be able to actually get this thing moving. So an optional challenge for you, Paul, is to attempt to strength break the lock. And now you could use your very reliable wooden dowel or shears.
Are we the helium? I had it with shears.
Shears it is. So you're just looking for a, not a 1, right?
Do we want to eat a meal first?
Paul, would you like to MRE?
4.
Nope. All right, good enough. So clue 101. Okay. Through brute force, you manage to break the locks. But you damage the ship's controls in the process. You're tossed from the cockpit as the vehicle lurches a few inches into the air and rockets across the lawn, straight towards the room full of chimpanzees.
Yeah, chimpanzee blood.
So we go to story card 107.
Oh, God.
Thank you. All right, on to Dan. There's a large sliding glass door that opens into the meeting room, but the egg-shaped ship misses it entirely and crashes straight through the wall. A space cannon emerges from a hatch in the ship's hull and starts firing laser beams at random into the room. The chimps go bananas. It's total chaos. You couldn't have created a better distraction if you planned it. You jump out of the ship and move quickly and stealthily and somehow manage to avoid the raging chimps and the uncontrolled laser fire. Maybe, just maybe, you can disable the neuron inhibitor mainframe before anybody manages to stop you. So Dan, this is a required challenge. It is a dexterity challenge. You're going to try to disable the mainframe. Would you like to eat an MRE?
What are the benefits of the MRE again?
It will reduce the danger meter by 4. So you won't
That's
get
all
full
the way down to
value,
the
but it'll
bottom.
drop
That takes it all the way down. You know what? I'm going to do it just to... That's basically getting a +1 on the die, so...
Totally agree. That is item 100, 106, 105. Can't read. Item 105 has been used.
Okay. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thankfully I rolled a 3.
Okay, fantastic. So we go through story card 113. Jarrod, the computer doesn't have a button that's clearly labeled off. So you hit the neuron inhibitor mainframe console as hard as you can with a chair, and sparks fly from it. Every chimpanzee in the room instantly passes out and falls on the floor. The egg ship has apparently run out of laser juice because the cannon sputters and lowers back into the hatch. Carol, however, is still a problem. "My computer," she screams. "My chimpanzees! My meeting room wall! Who even are you?" She flies at you in a rage. She definitely wants to kill you, and she seems to be giving it everything that she's got. So, Jarrod, we have to attempt to knock out the dastardly Carol with a fight challenge, so you may use your knife.
Oh no, this is Paul's expertise.
Stab Carol. Hopefully
I'm
the
the
answer
one
to how is Carol is stabbed.
4, and the +1 is 5.
Yes, so you win, and we go to the next story card. Alright, Paul. That is the Chapter 4 goal achieved. You've thwarted Carol's evil plot, freed a whole mansion full of super intelligent chimpanzees, and broken up a counterfeiting ring. On top of that, you've helped Professor Marsden win back control of his lab. Now he'll have plenty of time to consider the implications of his blind pursuit of knowledge and devote the rest of his career to making things right again. All that's left for you to do now is bask in your supreme triumph. You sit in Carol's chair, lean back, put your feet up on what remains of the meeting room table, confident your job here is done. Or is it? An alarm. So this is now, I guess that's, well, I'll keep going with you, Paul, because that seems kind of dumb. We'll stick with Paul. An alarm sounds, and about 50 lights on the neuron inhibitor mainframe console start blinking. Professor Marsden comes running into the room. "Oh no," he mutters under his breath. "That thing's probably just malfunctioning, you say? I really did a number on it." You both jolt back as a strange booming voice comes from a speaker on the neuron inhibitor mainframe console. The full force of the Chrysalic Armada is upon you. We demand the release of our ambassador. Although we hate violence, we will reduce your entire planet to galactic rubble if you do not obey us. The significance of this moment hits you. You've just heard the words of an actual alien life form. The professor is pale as a ghost. Let's release the alien, you say. That's what you were planning to do anyway, right? About that, he says, it may not be quite so simple. And that is the end of that chapter, with no chance to go back.
That's the end of that chapter.
Thank you. I will bring up the game board back. Blah, 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 blah. Somewhere it's around here. Here it is. One last time, while we get ready to go into the final chapter of the game.
Did they turn that alien into a frog?
We haven't seen anything of the frog yet. Or the cavalry saber that's in the dead center of the... Huh? I gave you wrong side up?
Yeah, you didn't separate them.
I'm mean. I'm making the game more challenging as we go. Alright, so we are to the invasion. We'll stick with Paul, because he just kind of got a lot of story thrown at him. Alright, Paul. You've crossed the deadly estate surrounding the Marston house, come face to face with spirits from beyond the grave, not yet, or at all, and found yourself at the mercy of strange scientific experiments. You fought oversized superintelligent chimpanzees, freed them from mind control, and discovered a counterfeiting ring along the way. Now a fleet of UFOs...
You did some of that.
Yep. Did about 80%. Now a fleet of UFOs is barreling towards Earth. And unless you can free the imprisoned alien ambassador before they arrive, the entire planet is doomed. The alien's locked away in an old prison beneath the mansion, Professor Marsden says. It's a dangerous labyrinth and is not easily navigated. What are you talking about, you reply. There are 3 cells in that place. We were there 45 minutes ago. He says that's the new prison, where the antisocial chimpanzees are held until they can be rehabilitated. The entire compound's built over the ruins of an old prison, which burned down more than a century ago. My great-great-great-grandfather was the warden. You remember the strange out-of-body visions in the elevator and the deep sense of foreboding that came with them. We should have never put him down there, the professor says. The prison's always been a horrible, cursed place. But now that the creature has found a way to make contact with the world outside his cell... Wait a second, you say. The alien ambassador isn't just responsible for my nightmares, is he? The alien was the one who called me this morning. But how do you even find me? The phone book's full of private investigators with far more experience than I have. You suddenly remember, however, the Yellow Pages listing doesn't list you as an aspiring detective, it lists you as a psychic investigator. I'll find the alien, you say, to reassure yourself as much as the professor. I was born to do this. Before you can respond, the professor notices something on the mainframe console and gasps. The alien armada will enter Earth's atmosphere in just 20 minutes. You must find the alien ambassador and free him quickly, or all is lost. So let's draw clue 108, which will be our end of the game goal. To release the alien ambassador and attempt to save planet Earth. Seems like a good goal.
Overrated.
Okay, you say. You've been down there before, right? Do you have a map? No, Carol handled all of that. All I know is there are 2 ways to get to the structure. Through the original prison entrance around the back of the house, and through a long dark hallway I've always been too afraid to investigate. Don't forget, leave your earpiece on so we can talk to each other. Paul, would you like to head to the prison entrance, or do you want to go down the long, scary hallway?
Prison entrance.
Prison entrance.
That seems like a better choice here.
Alright, Dan. You find the entrance to the old prison through, that was a dash at the end of the sentence, threw me off, through an abandoned section of the house. The boards that were nailed up to keep people out have mostly rotted away, and they were put up at least 50 years after the fire. You can hardly imagine what kind of shape the prison itself is actually in. You pry off the boards and carefully step into the room. This must have been some kind of check-in area for prison guards and other employees. There's a large hole carved in one wall, which opens to a rough stone tunnel. There are also 2 doors, but only one wooden one opens. The other sealed tight with an unusual lock that has a small, round, gem-shaped indentation where the keyhole ought to be. Do we have clue 50?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Nope.
Looks like we're not opening
Yes.
that door. Oh, wait,
We have the ring.
We did.
Oh, yep, clue 50.
Oh yeah, the ring is the Marsden family ring. Is
Cool.
clue 50.
If you
Haha.
have clue 50,
We can open that door.
Use it to open the locked door and go to story card 139.
Hell yeah.
Started now?
Nope. 139. And that was whose card that didn't get to make a choice?
Hey.
Do you want to? We'll just keep going so you actually get to do something. Because I think Paul's inclination is kind of correct. If you just get
Yeah, if you just get shafted, it's like, well, my turn was just somebody telling me that we did a thing.
Yeah. This room looks like it must have been the warden's office, and it's mostly in shambles. A metal desk has been pushed against one wall, and you find a cardboard box of old copies of the Nothwin Times inside. The newspapers practically disintegrate in your hands. They've been down here for at least a century, but appear to be mostly about the fire that destroyed the prison and took a large number of inmates and prison personnel with it. Because a cardboard box full of paper surely won't have survived the flames, someone must have brought it here after the place already burned down. There's a century's worth of junk shoved into the desk drawers as well, and you can search through it if you think it might be worth the effort. So, optional challenge is a observation challenge. We are not level 4 on the psychic scale. So, you may make a perception challenge if you wish. This is Dan. The perception challenge. It's optional.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
Hell yeah, 6.
Cool. Draw clue 115. While looking through the drawers, you notice a secret passage under the desk, which leads straight down through the crumbling floor. So we're going to go to story card 125. You descend into a cave with glassy obsidian walls and a perfectly still circular pool in the center. A perfectly still pool that's glowing. Is it otherworldly ectoplasmic goo? Alien spaceship fuel? Good old-fashioned radioactive sludge? You have no idea, but you're pretty sure drinking it would either kill you or give you superpowers. Free action. Jarrod, if you'd like to drink from the pool, you may as a free action.
Drink deep from the plasma pool.
No.
Okay. There's a stone wall with a tunnel framed in red brick leading away from the pool. There's also something giving off a gross, dank smell at the far end of the pool if you'd like to investigate it. So, Jarrod, would you like to enter the tunnel frame with red brick, or would you like to follow your nose?
Oh God. I think I'll follow my nose.
Follow your nose, wherever it goes. 128. Paul. The dank soil gives way beneath your feet, and you tumble into a very smelly hidden cavern. Here you discover the stench is wafting up from a colony of mushrooms, spotted ones and striped ones, that cover most of the floor and the walls. If you've learned anything from playing video games, though, it's that eating random mushrooms you come across in the middle of an adventure is almost always a good idea. So you choose one of these and continue. If you want to eat, you may eat a spotted mushroom, you may eat a striped mushroom, or you may partake in both variety of mushroom. You may not eat mushrooms.
I'll eat both.
Both mushrooms. Okay. The striped mushroom gives you temporary superhuman strength, but the poison spotted mushroom negates the effect. So, we get to keep this item, which will now give you a +1 on strength checks. Not that you really need it, because you have better items than that. But, it will, let me see, 111 here. It will also raise the danger meter by 2. It will also raise the piece size, which is what I not want to do.
Size. I definitely read that as raise the P size.
P size, please. Is this green?
Actually, I thought you said pea size.
P size.
Right? Raising the size of the little pea.
I may have said that if both of you heard it. Or maybe you just both have to pee.
I use the kitchen sink.
Good. And it says to finish story card 128. Okay. When you're done snacking, there's only one way to leave the cavern, and it's through the pitch black tunnel. So story card 135. So that was Paul eating mushrooms. Now it is to Dan. The tunnel leads to an exit high up on the wall of a large lead-lined prison cell. Beneath you, the crystalline form of the Chrysalac ambassador lies motionless on the floor. The ambassador looks up, sees you, and sends a telepathic message directly into your frontal lobes. What manner of creature can pass through the impenetrable walls of my prison, he transmits. Whoever you are, have mercy and free me from this tomb. Impenetrable walls, it's a tunnel, you think back at him. Have you even tried escaping? How long have you been down here? I am greatly weakened from my ordeal, the ambassador thinks at you. It's also really dark. The only way out of this cell is back the way you came. So if you want to take the ambassador back to the surface with you, you're going to have to lift him through the tunnel, and he is quite heavy. So Dan, this is a required strength challenge to give the alien ambassador a boost. So you must make a strength challenge here, and you have obviously objects that can help you, so it's a don't roll a 1 situation.
Lift him up with those shears.
Yeah. I don't know how that's going to work, but... Okay, rolled a 2. Very nearly rolled a 1.
Okay. So we succeed. Lower the danger meter by 5.
Well, the danger meter goes back down to the bottom.
Does. And we go to story card 146. Story card 146. Jarrod, you drag the crystalline alien back to the security room where the professor waits. On a monitor, you can see a giant UFO entering Earth's atmosphere. Hurry, the professor says in a panic. The Armada's almost upon us. The alien ambassador rushes to the console. He pushes a button and makes a series of harsh noises you can only assume are his native language. Do we have clue 90?
No.
We do not have clue 90. Okay. We do not have clue 90. Continue reading. When he's finished, the alien sends you a telepathic message. I have contacted my people. All is well. So now what, you ask? Go outside and await their arrival, he transmits. Do not fear them. We have forgiven all your transgressions and will not murder you or the rest of your species. So, we are not level 5 on the psychic scale.
Oh, no.
Level 2 through 4 on the psychic scale. So, here's your choices, Jarrod. Do you think something's fishy and demand more answers, or do you trust in the ambassador? And you probably want to talk this one out.
Yeah. I smell fish. Anybody else? Do you have thoughts?
We just saved him.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean he doesn't actually still want revenge.
On us?
On everybody.
Maybe we go outside and they frag the house, and then we're fine.
Yeah.
Dan, you have any input?
I don't know.
Well, let's think about it this way.
Yeah, this is tough.
Kind of a metagame thing. I don't want to do it too much, but if we ask for more answers, that could end up being worse. But if we don't, and we trust them, and it's not fine, we'll just try it again. Because it's a book.
Yeah.
Go back.
Yeah. I think you're right.
But I feel like the benefit of just going through with it makes more sense than trying to possibly make it worse and then have to get through something worse. So
you would like to trust the ambassador?
I will trust the ambassador.
Okay. Story card 149.
Like to roll a sense motive check.
So the chapter 5 goal is now achieved. Paul. I don't think you'll have anything to do here, but we'll see what happens. There's nothing left to do but wait and watch as the enormous crystal saucers gather in the skies above. A column of red light erupts from the mothership, enveloping you and the professor. The beam causes every cell in your body to vibrate. It also carries a telepathic message. Planet Earth was charged with high crimes against the Chrysalic Empire, and was sentenced to extermination. However, since you two have shown an ability to learn the galactic psychic arts, we do have hope for your planet. We will take you as a sacrifice to interplanetary justice. Your world will be spared. So that's the end, you ask? The Earth is saved? Your planet should make no attempt to contact us again, the voice says, lest you invoke the full force of our wrath. You don't actually hear the last part, though, because the frequency of the beam intensifies, and you and the professor are instantly disintegrated. You have saved the planet. You are a hero. An extremely dead and utterly vaporized hero. The end. The game is over.
Yay!
We kind of won.
Yep. So, like a video
We did
game,
the
there are
opposite happen,
several. Yes.
We
Yeah.
were saved, but the
We
Earth was not.
we escaped Earth in time, but Earth was destroyed.
Oh shit!
So there are a lot of different things that can happen at the end, which is kind of neat, depending on like how much you the game. I like the game encourages like a lot of exploration and things like that.
Yeah, I feel like if we were more psychic, we could have had a better option at the end there. But
Yeah. So that is Choose Your Own Adventure House of Danger. So if you stuck with us through it, may not be the best thing to play because you kind of know the story. But there is another Choose Your Own Adventure board game they've put out, so you can definitely check that one out. Pretty neat.
I also imagine they're probably intending to release more of them at some point.
Yeah, they're just little. I think this was like $15 or $20. Like it's a pretty cheap version. I mean, it's not like a whole lot. It's a lot of cards and the little board and things. Like it's not an intense amount of objects. You get a couple little plastic chippies. You get the game board. You get the cards, the different decks of cards. So it's not an expensive game for them to produce, and it's pretty neat. I think it adds just enough to a Choose Your Own Adventure game to make it like interesting to play, and the fact it breaks up into chapters means you can play it at your leisure, which is neat. But that is the game. You guys did all right. Like you succeeded. You didn't totally fail.
Yeah.
You didn't.
A
super
positive
succeed.
result.
Yeah. So not too bad, but I agree with Paul's assessment that sometimes you kind of just miss a turn when you're playing in team, like in a team mode where it's just like, oh well, guess I don't take a turn here. So I think like playing until you take a turn is a good way to do it until you make a decision. So it gives you a chance to do what
that
you
way,
want to do.
that way, I take credit for all of the deaths I caused.
Which I also think like you should make the choice and then like continue until the next choice, so you have to have the consequences of the choice.
Mm-hmm.
So counting the winning death, we had 6, I think, or which were mine. And it started off as Dan. He's like, "Oh, death," and I'm like, "Aha!" And then I took that crown and I ran with it.
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable one. And King of Britons was there for a while, keeping track of the deaths for us in chat. But that will basically do it for the stream and for the YouTube video. I'll give the end of the video spiel. If you are on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. We do all kinds of different content, a lot of it Magic the Gathering, a lot of it other stuff. We do comedy shorts, 1, 2, 3 shoots. We do all kinds of stuff, kind of whatever we feel like doing, all things nerd related, especially in the spheres of like games, tabletop games, and film, things like that. If you're joining us for this live, thank you so much on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/superliminalfilms. We stream every Sunday, MTG Arena, and every second Saturday of the month we do one of these special streams where we do something, either Jackbox because of COVID, we did Roller Coaster Tycoon, we've done this, something.
Try to push for Among Us next month.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of options there, and we try to include the chat as much as we can. They were helping with decisions earlier in the stream, which is
And eventually we'll be back to in-person board gaming.
Eventually, yeah.
Which is good because I have acquired, since the last time I saw Paul and Jarrod, like 11 new board games.
I think I have like 4 or 5 too. So,
Yeah. Well, I guess since last time I hung out with Paul and Jarrod, because I saw you all at Paul's house there, but since last time we spent any deal of time playing games together, I've acquired a bunch. Kept finding sales, man.
Yeah.
So
No, it's awesome. So, We also have a Discord. If you're interested in that, we do sometimes throw it out as a choice of what to do on the Saturday streams. Because, like I said, we like to involve the community as much as we can. Normally at the end we'd sing a song for subscribers, but we didn't get any during this stream. That's okay. It happens. Yes, there is a link tree.
Jarrod, thank you so much for the link tree.
Yes, which will help you get anywhere that we do things. The website also kind of like a link tree for us as well. All the stuff we do is there, which is pretty cool. So you can find anything and everything through either of those links.
Yeah, Linktree has direct links to our Discord, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and this Twitch channel.
It's a lot. We're there. If you want to message us any of those places, we will get it. We try to be as interactive as we possibly can. So I think that will do it. And we want to wish everybody, if you're watching this before the holiday, a happy Halloween. And if not, we hope that everybody's safe and healthy and continues to be that way. And remember, everybody, the mask goes over your nose. And I'm not talking about a Halloween mask.
Also vote.
Also vote.
Bye.